Like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillar. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media. And you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is. And you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've seen other people do it well, but what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks. Today we're going to talk about a subject that I'm going to say in a certain space is controversial. Other places, it wouldn't be controversial except for the actual content that's going to be pushed into it. So it's going to be controversial regardless. So we're going to get into it, y'all. The right way to date a single mother, y'all. A right way to date a single mother. Because there are right things to do if you're going to engage in that situation. Unfortunately, a lot of black men haven't been told the right way to approach these types of situations. But since there's going to be some people who choose to do it, you know, there's guys who are raised by single mothers, and they're not going to even recognize that that's any issue at all. It's going to happen. So we need to give some guidelines on how you properly supposed to date a single mother. And that's what we're going to get into. But before we go too far into that, we're going to take a moment out to say, we're going to shout out to all the people who give views on a regular basis, because I do appreciate y'all. You make it, you know, this is what the show is for. the people who watch on a regular basis. All right. Shout out to all the people who leaves comments after the stream, because that does help with the algorithm and help spread the channel around. So it is appreciated. Shout out to everybody who hype me up every chance you get. And don't do it some of the time. Do it every chance you get. And shout out to everybody who hits that like button. All this is very important to the algorithm to help spread the show. So keep up the good work. Appreciate you. Okay. And shout out to everybody who becomes a financial contributor over here at the Roger Report Live, because you allow me to do things that I could not do without you. So shout out to each and every one of y'all, and y'all help make the show better. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You help make the show better. So shout out to each and every one who becomes a financial contributor over the Roger Report Live. And we're going to say shout out to DF, because he is the sponsor of today's stream. Shout out to DF. He is the sponsor of today's stream. Appreciate you big time. Appreciate you big time. All right, folks. Now, getting into this subject, shout out to the Great Black Reset. He says the right way, don't do it. Well, look, y'all, it's going to be people that do it. So anybody who wants to come up and say, just don't do it, you're not welcome today. Because we're not going to deal with the just don't do it. We're going to deal with the people who do it, because the people who do it need some guidelines, and they don't have any at this particular point. People just out here willy-nilly and not really thinking about what they're doing. Okay? And there are also going to be some people who come out of a marriage and they may date again, and they're going to have kids already. Nothing wrong with a man with kids dating a woman with kids. There's going to be some guys who may have never got married but did possibly have children. Y'all know how women can be. So now they might be a single father. There's still correct ways to do things, and there's things that we need to take into account as Black men. So you can't just have a wide blanket say just nobody do it, because that's not going to be realistic. Okay, it's not. I understand people with the feeling, but it's not going to be a realistic thing. Okay, and as Black men, because we have so many single mothers in the Black community, and there are going to be so many guys trying to date a woman who's Black no matter what, there definitely needs to be guidelines out there. So we about to get into this, y'all. If you're going to date a single mother, all right. Now, I'm also going to say this, y'all. We got to be realistic, all right? And Black men need to really get an idea of what is obligation versus what is charity. All right? When you dating a woman, it's all charity, y'all. It's all charity. All right? Doesn't make a difference what it is. It's charity, and we're going to have to accept that it's charity. It is not obligation. It's not your wife. Okay? It could become your wife, but you don't know that until it happens. So it's not your wife, which means it's charity. And how you approach it, that's on you at the end of the day. If you can't afford to give it, you just don't give it. It's that simple. A lot of people have issues because they think dealing with certain kind of women is going to cost too much. They want too much, or whatever the case is. They only get what you decide that they can have. Nobody else should have the influence over you to say, hey, you got to give this person this, and you got to get this. Ain't your wife. Okay, if it was your wife, a different story. You actually made an obligation to your wife. If it's not your wife, you get what you want to give. And it's that simple at the end of the day. It really don't make too much of a difference how other people going to feel about it. So now, if you're going to deal with a woman who's a single mother, there are some things that you should take into account. Now, I understand everybody has an individual choice, but see, if you're going to be part of a community got to learn to look out for the other people in the community. And we got to accept that what we do will affect a community. So we got to take other folks into consideration. Okay. Shout out to the Great Black Reset, y'all. Well, before I even do this, because I ain't even saying nothing about my people who jumped in right away, because it's always great that when you start a show, you got people in the building. So before I even do that, shout out to Christopher Lamont. He is what we like to call around these part, being the first person on deck. He's like he is what we like to call the Highlander of today's stream. So shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you, my brother. Thank you for being the Highlander of today's stream. If you ain't got you a Highlander yet, stop messing around. You're supposed to have multiple Highlanders. You're supposed to have multiple. Shout out to Trey Bentley representing hashtag Long Little Habitual Line Steppers, hashtag Negroes in the Wilderness, hashtag Dignity Over Vagina, hashtag Al Gore's Babies, hashtag Hell Hydra. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. We got Chef Mike in the house. Well, Chef Mike's Roundtable representing. That is our pit master. Shout out to Chef Mike's Roundtable and the pit crew. Shout out to them. Appreciate the work. They do the stuff that I ain't gonna do. So you got to appreciate them. You got to appreciate them. Shout out to the righteous teacher. Great to see you in the building, my brother. Great to see you. We got Floyd Thompson at the cool table. Yay, yay. Good to have you. The great Black Reset, of course, is here. We got KNC and Red in the building. We also have my main man, Tunnel Runner, is here. Good to see you. Afro Merchant is in the house. What's going on, my brother? The appliance repairman is in the building. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Good to have you. We got MJD, the second, in the house. Good to see you, brother. Bad Black Gamer is here. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. We got Maggie Thompson under the veil in the building. Always great to see you, Maggie. Always great to see you. And we're going to get into it, y'all. We're going to get into it. If you're going to date a single mother, there are things that should be considered. Okay? There are things that should be considered. And again, y'all, when you're dating a woman, everything you do for her is charity. It's that simple at the end of the day. Everything you do for her is charity. You're obligated when it's your wife. Okay? And that's something Black men need to spread around so other brothers can accept it and we can move accordingly. When it's not your wife, it is charity. You could love her all day long. I ain't saying you don't love her, but if it ain't your wife, it's charity. It's that simple, man. You know, if it ain't your wife, it's charity. Shout out to Trust. She say this picture speaks 1,000 words. Well, every one of them Black women said. That's all I can say. Every one of them Black women said. But I appreciate you saying that because this is an interesting little thing here. Interesting little thing. I didn't know who these women were, but seems like one of them at least has a following. It looks like the young lady on the left has a following of some kind. Looks like the young lady on the right seems to be her mother. And I'm not 100% for sure, but I think that's the mother's new child. So that might be a sibling. I was trying to figure out, was that a granddaughter? Is that a grandchild of one of them? Meaning the mother? But I'm not even sure that it's a grandchild. Not even sure at this particular point. That might just be another new sibling, but I ain't found enough information out to see, because I was just looking for a right message to put out here. But then I found that it's something to these people, but I don't really care who they are for real. So we're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep it pushing. Now, again, y'all, there's going to be some guys who are going to be single fathers, and they still need to know what's the proper way to date a single mother. All right? So I understand there's going to be a lot of guys in this particular space who are going to say, well, just don't do it. Well, that's not going to help anybody today. Okay? I'm not saying you can't give that advice on a regular basis, but it's not going to be appropriate advice for today's show. Because if a person going to do something, they need to know how to do it correctly. You get into a car, which nobody has to do. When you think about it, nobody has to get into a car. But if you get into a car and start driving, you should be able to do it the correct way. You should know to put your seatbelt on. You should know how to shift the gears, okay? You should know how to steer the vehicle. There's things you should know if you're going to travel. This is 2025, so I don't know how this age when you got, because there are automated cars out there, so, it may be different for people in the future, but people today, when we drive cars regularly, you need to know how to drive the car if you're going to get into a car. It's just that simple at the end of the day, okay? Even if you got an automated vehicle, you need to know how to drive. If something goes wrong with the automated system, you need to know how to take over. It's that simple at the end of the day. And I understand some people ain't going to worry about it. You're going to have some kids grow up today. They ain't going to never learn to drive a car. You need to know how to drive a car if you in the car. When you get to the right age, okay? When you get to the right age. So now, if you're going to deal with a woman and you find out she's a single mother and you're going to do it anyway, there's rules that we really should take on as Black men. Okay. And I have put some thought into this, and I've dated single mothers before, but there was no guideline of how you're supposed to do it. So I did stuff that technically I shouldn't even worried about at the time. But there was no guideline out there on how you're supposed to date a single mother. So guess what, y'all? Rule number 1, you're not even supposed to meet the children. Yeah, check that out. Check that out. You're not even supposed to meet the children. And this is one of the most horrible things for people who get involved in relationships with people who got kids. You're not supposed to meet the children. Why would you meet the children? Now, shout out to the great Black Reset. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. And thank you for helping me get off to the good start. He says, driving in a demolition derby with no seatbelt. Well, you know what? If you want to be realistic, that's what a lot of us been doing. We've been out there in the demolition derby, and we've been driving with no seatbelt. And that's just real talk, you know? And that might be a good way for us to look at it so we can start correcting how we should approach these things. Because why would you get in the demolition derby and not put a seatbelt on? You know, get out there, don't wear no helmet, no safety gear, just in the truck, cool. The demolition derby over there, well, I'm just going to get behind the wheel, I'm going on in. That's not the bright way to go about stuff, okay? And shout out to the righteous. He said, Roger, you picked the worst possible, you picked the worst photo possible, huh? And I'm going to tell you, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is one of the better ones I could get in short notice. Because, you know, I am on a short notice. Last night was crazy, y'all. Last night was crazy. But this was about the best one I can get on short notice, believe it or not. I was trying to find a nice picture with with the mom, with their kids. I wanted them to be Black though, and it taking effort. I'm gonna say to get a nice picture of a black woman with her child. I guess it takes an effort. Okay, but no, this definitely was not the worst photo that I could possibly find. It was the best photo I could possibly find. In a short notice. Okay, it was the best one, believe it or not. Now, what y'all want to do? How y'all want to think about that? I don't know what to tell you, but this was the best one I could find. Okay, and that's real talk. Now, dealing with a woman with children, you should never meet her children, period. Not until you've actually proposed to a woman and set a wedding date. You shouldn't even be meeting the children. Now, you got to think about this, y'all. And I understand there's going to be some people who going to come with that argument. A lot of women going to say it. A lot of guys going to say it. But what if the kids don't like you? Whose relationship is it? Now, this is where Black people got to learn to stop trying to be so much like how we see white people. Yeah, in a white family, the kid can be in charge. That happens sometimes. Okay, that's their people. And no offense to the white people listening. I'm talking about the perspective that Black folks have on white people. Whether it's true or not, this is a perspective that a lot of us have as a collective. We understand there are going to be some white kids who run the household. They tell their mamas and daddies what to do. They call them by their first names. They are clearly a superior in the household. Okay? We see that in some white families. All right? We see that in some white families. That ain't supposed to be us, y'all. That is not supposed to be us. Okay? As a Black parent, male or female, ain't nowhere in the world you supposed to be okay with being a Black person. Your child is running the household. Now, there are some Black women starting to buy into that. And they're pushing it, especially toward Black men. And some of them buying into it themselves. It's getting crazy out here in some particular places. But your child ain't supposed to be running your household. So now, if I'm going to deal with a woman, she has children, why would I concern myself with the children's opinion of me? Let's be realistic about this, y'all. Why would I concern myself with the children's opinion of me? And some people say, well, wouldn't that depend on the age? Why would it depend on the age? If I'm dealing with a woman and her children are grown, they ain't got nothing to do with my relationship anyway. They're grown. They ain't even at home no more. What I'm doing with their mama is about me and her. It ain't about them. So if they grown and gone, why would their feelings be taken into consideration? Now, some of y'all may say, well, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. They're grown and gone. It ain't really that big a deal. Okay. Some people going to say, well, what if they small children? I don't know where y'all come from, but where I come from, children do what they told. Okay. That's what children do where I come from. They do what they told. They're going to do it the easy way or they're going to do it the hard way. It's that simple. Now, whichever way they pick, so be it. But where I come from, children do what they're told. If we want a child's opinion, we'll let a child know when the child can give their opinion. And guess what? It ain't gonna never be about relationships with grown folks. Okay? None of my people, to my knowledge, has ever thought about a child when it came to a relationship with somebody grown. We don't do that. Maybe that's a new thing y'all picking up from these white people. But maybe you're gonna have, maybe you're gonna do what the white people do. Maybe your kids gonna start running your house. Okay. But where I come from, the children don't run the house. Okay, the children do not run the house. And if you one of my people and I find out you let your kid run the house, I'm definitely gonna say something to you. I ain't gonna just let that go. I'm definitely gonna say something to you. But yeah, the kids don't run the house where I come from. So people say, well, what, I got a 5-year-old daughter. What if she doesn't like it? Who cares? She a 5-year-old girl. Who cares whether she like me or not? And I get it. Some people gonna say, well, you got to take the children's feelings into consideration. Why? Why I got to take their feelings in consideration? What bill they paying? Okay. Now I understand everybody was not raised in the same household. I do get that, y'all. And that's why I'm asking a realistic question. What bills are your kids paying? Because if you ain't paying no bills, why am I talking to you about what's going on in an adult relationship? What difference that make? And truth be told, if you're not an adult, even if you were paying the bills, that's a tricky situation for a child. Because heck, there's some people out there that they might start acting as a child. They might be bringing in big money. But last I heard, the parents were still running the show. Kid might be bringing in a whole bunch of money, but the parents still running the show. Shout out to the Great Black Reset. One more again. He say, frying chicken and gasoline while smoking. I see what you're doing, man. I just want you to know, if nobody else see what you're doing, I see what you're doing. Oh. Oh. So yeah, there is a thing out there where you have people, who have kids, and some of y'all are turning the authority over your relationships into a child. You're a dumb person anyway. That's what I'm gonna say, y'all. Now, don't be offended. Remember, y'all, stupidity is chosen. Okay? Stupidity is a choice. I'm not saying you dumb because you don't have the ability to use your intellect. But let's be realistic. If a child can pick what man or woman you entertain, what man or woman you engage with, what man or woman you start a relationship with, what man or woman you actually get married to, when you are saying you are okay with giving a child that much authority over your life, how you gonna tell me you're not dumb? That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You may not agree with me, and it may sound bad. People may say, "Oh, that's kind of offensive. Why would you say I'm dumb?" But you're telling me that a child can dictate to you what man you are with or what woman you are with as an adult, and you're gonna tell me that's not a dumb thought? A child gonna have that much power over your life, and you're gonna tell me that's not a dumb thought? I mean, we got to be realistic. Okay, we got to be realistic. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a buddy in right here, y'all. I'm a buddy in. Shout out to Afro Merchant. Now he talking to Spain Man, y'all. He said, Spain Man, salute, brother. Yeah, I don't think Roger know how dark the photo truly is. Laugh out loud. Imagine being a stepfather to that. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I truly don't know how bad it is because I don't know who these people are. But this could come with the package. That's all I'm saying. Whatever it is, this could be one of the things that come with the package because, a person is going to be like other people. So no, y'all may know some dark stuff about them that I don't know about them yet. Maybe these people be covered in the future because I don't know who these people is, so all I know is any brother could end up with a package like this, and you got to know what you're doing if you're going to step into these situations, okay? That's all I'm saying. You got to know what you're doing if you're going to step into these situations. So realistically, y'all, if you're dating someone with children, now I'm not saying you disappear out of a child's life if you're already in a relationship with the woman and you already have a relationship with her children. I'm not telling anybody to disappear. What I'm saying is, from this day forward, if you're dating a woman with children, do not meet the children until you are engaged with a wedding date. Okay? You're not doing any kid a favor by allowing them to know all the different men that mama had sex with. Okay? Let's just keep that real. You're not doing any child a favor by letting them know all the different people mama had sex with. Because every relationship don't last. We know that to be true. Okay, we know that to be true. Every relationship is not gonna last. Why does your child need to know everybody? Why does a child need to be able to even envision this guy Frank over here? Mama did it with him. I remember Bill. Mom did it with Bill too. Okay. Tony was around for a while. Mom must have did it with Tony. All right. What about Jalen? Remember Jalen, y'all? He was around for like 4 years. Mama must have did it with Jalen too. What kid are you helping by giving them this information? Okay, let's think about this, y'all. What child are you helping by allowing them to have access to this information? If you're going to date the woman, date the woman. You don't need a child's approval. Now, some people are going to say, well, what if the mom wants me to be liked by the children? And I'm not saying that's not a legitimate question to ask. Well, then, ain't you, as the leader, ain't you supposed to have a conversation with the woman and say, real talk, why do your kids' thoughts even matter? We grown. We gonna give children that much authority in our lives and call ourselves intelligent people at the same time? Because you can give a child that much authority, but how intelligent are you to yourself if you gave a child that much authority? Does that really make sense to you? So why isn't this a good standard to take on? Okay, I don't need to know who your kids are. If we not getting married, I don't need to know. Now I get it. Some people gonna say, well, what about doing something nice for the kids? Well, you can do some nice stuff. They don't need to meet you. If you with her for a while and Christmas come up, you can get, if you want to give a child a gift, you can give a child a gift. The child does not need to know who you are to give a child a gift. Okay? Child don't need to know who you are. You can buy something for a kid. That's what you want to do. Their birthday come around. Well, I've been dating the mama for a year and a half. She got a little son, Max. Okay, Max birthday come up. You can give Max a gift if you want to, and you don't need to meet him. Okay, that's just how it goes. You just don't need to meet him. Well, I want the kid to like me. Why? Are you gonna try to get an advantage with the mother by getting the kids to like you? That's not who you're supposed to be setting up with. Okay, and let's be realistic, y'all. Some guys are literally taught the best way to get a mom to like them is to go through a kid. That is not a good thing to do. All right. You're supposed to be making a relationship happen with an adult that's going to last beyond the child leaving the home. The child's going to grow up one day. The child is going to have their own life one day. Why would you try to go through a child to get with the mom? That does not make any level of sense when you actually think about it. I'm not saying it ain't a strategy that'll help you get a mother. No, I'm pretty sure it would help you with the mother. But you're supposed to be trying to have a good relationship with the actual mother of the child. So I don't need to go through a child to gain access to a mom. It's not even a good setup. And again, what child does it help to know all these different dudes had sex with their mama? Now, I'm not saying kids are stupid. A lot of people have grown up and y'all have thought about all these different people that had sex with your mama. Now, what kind of thoughts you had about it? Kind of hard to say. People have a lot of different crazy thoughts when it comes to stuff like this. But if you thought about all these random guys that had sex with your mama, do you think, are you remembering that or thinking about things like that? Like, yeah, that was a good thing for me to know that mama had all these different dudes. If you think that was a good thing, hey, knock yourself out. But I'm going to assume that most of y'all are not coming to the conclusion it was good for me to know all these random dudes that had sex with my mama. So why do it to a kid? Okay, if it happened to you, why, and you didn't like it, or you don't think it was a good thing, why do it to somebody else? Now, shout out to the Great Black Rick. He said wrestling lions while wearing meat suits. I definitely see what you're doing, brother. I definitely see what you're doing, and that's definitely a funny way to do it. That's definitely a funny way to do it. Shout out to Why Skinner Man Cave. Good to see you, brother. He say, Roger, am I meeting those kids first? Some of these kids be milking cookies. No. You don't meet anyone until you are actually engaged with a woman with a wedding date. And why am I saying with a wedding date? Because truth be told, there's people who are going to make a proposal, and then that proposal is not going to actually have a wedding date set to it, and them people ain't never actually getting married. So I'm not saying it's wrong to meet the kids before you get married, but their thoughts should have no effect on whether you and the mother are getting married. A relationship is supposed to be between you two. It has nothing to do with the children. The children are supposed to grow up and leave at some point. So you don't really need their opinion on how to live y'all lives. It's that simple. Okay? It's that simple. What you need your child's opinion about your man for? And if you're a man, what you need a child's opinion about your woman for? When you think about it and you say it out loud, I'm sure everybody can hear how that don't really quite make sense. I don't need my child's opinion about some woman I'm dealing with. What my child gonna tell me? My child should be telling me something I told my child. That's what my child should be saying. I'm supposed to give them wisdom. I'm supposed to get them to a point where they don't need me. So whatever my child gonna say, it should be something I input in my child. Okay? Now, of course, they don't get stuff from other places, but the main thing should have came from me in the first place. So what I need to talk to my child about this woman I'm dealing with for, I don't need that. I'm grown. The child ain't. Now, shout out to Gold P. And right after this, I'm going to give it to you, Shark. Gold P says, Roger, you better take care of your new wife with 4 kids and hungry for attention. That involves your pockets, sir. And you know what? Real talk. If I were to take on a woman in that position, it is my job to understand that, you know what? It does come with this particular package. Because she has children that are not grown and gone, there will be responsibilities that's going to fall at my feet. And if I'm truly not willing to take these on, I shouldn't be involved. But if I'm going to involve myself, I know that these responsibilities will come up, but they're not responsibilities until I marry this woman. Until then, it's just charity. I don't need to talk to these things. Okay, these little brats, these little crumb snatcher, however y'all want to address it. Or you could say they're beautiful, they're beautiful children. It don't make no difference how good or bad they are. At the end of the day, I don't have no obligation to them until I'm married to their mother. Now, once I'm married to their mother, I'm a stepfather at that point. But why do I need to involve myself with them if we ain't married? We ain't got no wedding date set. I don't need them in my life. I don't. If you want to be nice and get a kid a gift because their birthday came up, again, you don't need to meet that child to buy them squat. Let's be real. But let me get a flow to Shark since Shark then came up, and then we get you right after Demolition Man. Shark, you got the flow, my brother. How you doing?
I'm all right, Roger. What's going on?
Not much. We're embarking on a wild one, so I'm gonna see where you're coming with it. I know this is a wild one.
I see you trying to make that money now. This is the new year, new Roger. I ain't mad at you. Let's get it, man. Let's go get it. It's a nice conversation. They waiting for you. They got a new chair for you on stage. So I ain't mad at you. I've been told you this is what we need to go with it. But you're gonna be going by your damn self, cause bro. Well, to answer the title of the question, you don't date them. That's the best way to date a woman with children. You don't date them. And to go on what you're talking about, I don't see how in the world you're going to think about marrying a female with children and you ain't never met her children. You don't know if she's a good parent or not. Definitely, she ain't a good parent because she with you, and you ain't never. And you know what I mean. She's giving you mad time, and you ain't never seen the children. Second of all, the kid could be a real ill gangbanger, and you just like, yeah, I'm signing up with Keisha because she cool and we spend a lot of time together. So that's why I'm like, that's why I had to call her. I'm like, Roger gotta be trolling right now. But then
Not at all.
But then you said it to the point where your child shouldn't be telling you if that's a good person for you to be with. I do agree on that, but you do need to meet a person's children before you even think about proposing. Then you look at her kid. Look, if this is the mother on the right and that's her daughter on the left, that's what you're signing up for. And then the little baby drooling right there on her breast. Who don't? Come on, Roger. You the demolition man.
I'm letting all this stand because it's in his opening statement. I'm letting it all stand. I'll get to this stuff. I will get to it. I'm assuming you're done. Am I correct? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm not doing the gold P right now.
Okay. Okay, well, Demolition Man, you got it. And then we got one more other brother that'll get in right behind you. Hold still demonetized 2026 will come in after you. But go ahead, Demolition Man.
All right, Chef Mike, get ready. You might have to pull me off stage, man. I'm about to lose my mind up here. I'm trying to give people better activities to do in the chat. That's what I'm trying to do. Safer activities. But since we're going to have this train wreck anyway, all right.
Choo-choo.
Man, come on, bro. I'm for real. First of all, if you're going to do this, you need to come through with honesty. The first thing you need to tell that woman is your life is in chaos. If she can't accept that singular statement from the beginning, she ain't got a chance. Her life is in chaos and she needs some direction. 2, you do not take any life advice from a single mother because she's already proven to the world she makes poor life decisions, much less her children. Oh my God. 3, man, be financially celibate. Don't spend no money on this chick. She needs to show you her value and what she's willing to do for you. Because if you get involved in this woman's life, she's already at the bottom. She ain't going nowhere but up. She ain't going nowhere but up. It's already screwed up. It's already tore up. If she made good life choices, you wouldn't be there in the first place. And lastly, I'm gonna deal with this lie they keep telling. These women keep telling you, oh, it's special circumstances of why being a single mother. There is no good circumstance of being a single mother. There's 3 ways you can be a single mother. Having a child out of wedlock, that's negative. 2, Being getting married and getting divorced. That's negative for you and the child. And 3, widowed. The man is dead. That's negative. That's negative for the child. There is no positive situation. There is no good reason for a woman being a single mother. Don't do it. I don't know what Roger on today. I'm disappointed. Go ahead. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm finished.
Man, we got to make content for the people. Whether y'all like it or not, this is an issue amongst black folks. But go ahead. Whole still demonetized 2026. You got the blow, my brother. Go on, do what you gonna do. I kind of see it coming, but go on, do it.
You know it's coming, man. I can't believe that you doing this on the last damn day of the year.
Last day of the year.
Your last damn day of the year. Here you come with this ish. But I shouldn't even came up. I echo everything Demolition Man said. I echo all his sentiments. The brother nailed it. So I land my plane. You know what I'm saying? Next.
Okay, well, that's better than what I thought you was about to do. Gonna do. Truth Teller is in the building.
Yeah, you messed up with Truth Teller here early, right?
Man,
you messed up. Truth Teller here early.
It's almost a threat.
Truth Teller get his ass.
I wasn't paying attention. My whole senses started tingling. And then I come upon the scene and y'all niggas is being blasphemous to these hoes. Listen. The only thing the man is responsible for is being able to accurately identify these hoes. That's it. You ain't obligated to tell them the truth. You ain't obligated to give them any easement. You ain't obligated to give them advice about their kids. I do agree you ain't even supposed to meet them kids. Hell, I've been in circumstances where I was with a chick. She had a bed on the floor. And she had a baby in the carrier because there was no baby bed. Knock that shit out in the bed next to the baby in his carrier. Listen here, y'all. They are who they are. Let's just enjoy, man. Ain't nothing. Listen, there's nothing wrong with this. You see in the picture, right? I told y'all about chicks that don't wear bras. Nobody got on no bras. None. I told y'all, didn't I? I said bras, right? So they believe me.
You said that.
The other thing we need to identify is now these are the baby mothers that are the ones you really got to watch out for. These are the ones that'll rob you when you don't think you're gonna get robbed. When they kids got a decade or more in between their ages, that's serious right there. You got to be careful. You can't just walk into that unprepared. You probably need to, you need to tool up. You need to be ready for whatever, and just make sure you understand it can jump off at any given time from any different direction. Because if her kids are if the age gap is this big, that means she been hoeing for a long time. She been consistently hoeing, and she ain't gonna stop hoeing because of you. So just ride that wave until you have to get off your board, baby, and enjoy your life. That's all.
Do you see that picture, though, Truth Teller, he got up there?
It's a nice picture, man.
That's the picture I'm talking about.
It's
Them's her kids.
Black mother, her child, and what I believe is her other child. That's what I believe that is.
That's what I said. The age gap and the age gap for the kids. That's what I was talking about.
And the daughter.
Hey, you know what, Truth Teller, man?
The daughter
you know
like
what? We should just give you the mic, brother, and just mute Roger for the rest of the show.
Truth Teller trying to get credibility back. But
exactly. There we go.
wait. I want to say one more thing. I'm losing it. I'm sorry.
Well, I got 2 new guests up here, so let's make it quick.
It's gonna be quick. Another reason not to do this. Section 8 is coming to an end, and Roger is leading you to the pit of hell. They looking for niggas who listening to Roger right now.
No. Hey, I'm dealing with the fact that men are doing it anyway. This is a real thing. If we gonna cut it down, we got to give some real sensible things about how things should be approached. Now, if we don't do that, and people just out here willy nilly, then people gonna say, "Well, y'all should have told us better." Now, I'm putting out the information. If you're gonna do it, it's a lot of stuff that should be considered. that's not considered because there's no actual playbook out there. So I'm making
You
the
you
playbook. You know.
you giving your nephew this advice?
Now, if he were going to do it, I would give him the advice. If he were going to do
Your sister need to get us away from you.
it, no, I say if he were going to do it. If I mean, you can't stop what an adult gonna do. You know. But if he would go down this road, I would definitely tell him to have certain barriers and things in place if he were going to go down that road. Now, am I going to tell him to go down that road? Why? Heck no, I'm not going to tell him to go down that road. But
But Roger,
once,
imagine you dating this chick in 2 years, ain't never met her kids, and you meet and her and you get married, and her daughter come to the wedding with that hairstyle and that tattoo over the eye,
well,
with her
well,
nipples
Nailed
out.
it. Nailed it.
I'm gonna tell you, I got to get this other brother in, but I didn't say never meet the kids. I say wait until you propose and have a wedding date set.
It's already done. You didn't propose and got a wedding date set. It's a wrap now.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
but you can meet them before you get married once that's settled. But because the whole thing is the relationship is not about the children, it's about the adults. And truth be told, a lot of brothers gonna get married to a woman, and it was about the children. It wasn't about him. And unfortunately, a lot of guys don't have no way of actually seeing that. But if they would take this advice, at least it's now gonna be about the adults, and you can get away from women when they're really just trying to misuse you so their kids will be straight.
All right, so
this
before everybody start beating you up, so your angle is a lot of guys meet the kids and they get suckered in because they fall in love with the kids and then marry the chick.
I mean, no, that's possible. But what I'm saying is a lot of women are going to end up trying to marry a guy that they believe can take care of them and their children and have them in a decent situation. The relationship was never about him. Once them kids are grown, getting a divorce. Once she's done misusing him, he getting a divorce. He was in it for real. She was just in it till her kids were old enough. You can eliminate a whole lot of that stuff when the relationship is about the two people and not about the children. But I got to get Chef Mike's
Yeah.
roundtable in, y'all. Unless y'all want to just keep stomping over him. And since he got suit power, I don't know if
he
y'all
need
really want to do that.
Yeah,
I'm
go
just
through your
take
saying.
th- go through your
take
thing, Chef,
Roger suit.
because
Take
Chef
Roger
about to
suit.
Chef about to take Roger's suit. So
Chef Mike, you got the flow, my brother. I'm sorry these rude people wouldn't let me get you in a little bit quick.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to find yourself. This is the last day of 2025, and Roger is on this.
We all telling you, man.
I'm 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 at a loss for words, honestly. Um, I, okay, what's the best way to date a black woman? Well, first of all, don't listen to Roger. You better meet them damn kids. You better meet them damn kids. All I'm going to remind folks is that there was a movie out, you know, back in the day called The Good Son. That's all I'm going to say. I am not taking the chance, nor will I ever advise anyone to take the chance that you may have to rest your head down in a house with a demon seed.
Come on.
Hell, baby's kids.
Oh, thank you. These test tube babies?
Come
No,
on.
no. These baby mama babies?
Come on.
No, no. Roger,
Take
I'm so sorry, but I have to disagree with you. No, 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 no. The
take his
best
suit.
way, the best piece of advice I would definitely give um, someone is to definitely meet the kids. I'm not saying meet them right off the rip, but no, no, no. I need to meet your children because it does tell a great deal about who you are. I do need to know what kind of parent you are. I do need to know how you interact with your children. You could be, you know, Cinderella to me, but you could be the evil godmother to your children. Like, I have seen women beautiful, and I mean beautiful, dress nice, beautiful. Walking with their kids and they're getting ready to get on the train in DC. And I hear this beautiful woman curse at this 5-year-old child like this child is a sailor and like this child actually understands what you talk. Turn me off immediately.
No, but
I'm
Roger
sorry.
say wait till you get ready to marry her
First of
before you
all,
find that out.
First
That's
of
what
all, we
Roger
ain't gonna
say.
listen. We're not listening to Roger with that advice. I mean, Roger is usually right.
Usually.
Usually, Roger is right.
Wait, Chef,
But
you
on
remember?
this one, I swear, Roger, you really make me want to take your suit for that one.
Thank you, Chef.
That's
Come
like
in and restore
telling
some order.
somebody to take a drink of kerosene before they go smoke a nice cigar. That's it's just certain things you don't advise people to do.
That's a
Eat,
safer activity. That's a
eat,
safer
eat.
activity.
You know what I mean? Eat a whole bunch of Mentos and then go drink a soda. No,
Soda.
that's not what we advise people to do.
Damn.
Yo,
So,
Chef,
sir,
you remember the
I'm
you,
just
you remember the
stating my
movie?
opinion,
Y'all
and
ever
with
seen the
that,
movie
I am
Flowers in the
going
Attic?
to land my plane, gentlemen. I know it's so tempting to beat Roger up right now. However, we will
No.
reserve some things for Bible study because oh goodness, Jesus knows my
Mm-mm.
every weakness. I'm gonna land my plane right there.
Wait, yo, Chef, you
Chef,
ever seen the movie?
Chef,
Chef, you ever seen the movie Flowers in the Attic?
Brother, I really don't know where Roger be living sometimes. Is it that different in Chicago?
It gotta be. It gotta be.
Chef,
It's gonna all make
Chef,
sense again.
I'm gonna apologize right now because all the way up until the 3 hour mark, I will be up here cooking this brother today. He asked for this. He asked for this.
He begged for it.
He asking for this. Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice that sounds horrible up front, but it's wonderful in the end. I think if you gonna date a single mother on the first date, take her and her kids out to dinner. Don't that sound horrible? Yeah, take all four of them motherfuckers out to dinner, right? It sounds bad. You finna spend all that money? Yes, I'm finna spend all that money. I'm gonna tell you why. You gonna find out their behavior. You gonna find out how she talks to them, whether she can keep control of them, whether they out of control, whether they up running around. Just don't say nothing. Just sit there and watch her entertain her children. Watch to see what kind of control she got of her children. You gonna find out right then that you just need to put a stick of dynamite in her purse and let it off when she get in the house. You gonna find out. But Roger say, wait till wait till the preacher hand you the rings and put it on her finger, then meet her kids. I ain't never heard. Man, I'm finna
Yo,
lose my mind.
he
Roger,
didn't. Roger didn't bought the engagement ring, gave it to her. He didn't
come
bought
on,
the
bro.
wedding ring, got that in the stash. He didn't got the caterer. He didn't told Chef Mike to cater the food for him and all that. And then he see this daughter.
Hey man,
No, man.
there's good reason for this, and I'm gonna hold fast because we got two more guests that came up. I understand where y'all coming from. I got it all covered. I got it all covered. Okay, real talk. I got it all covered. Well, let me get these other brothers in here real quick. So, jump his A, and really saying jump his behind. I ain't gonna curse on that, but yo, jump his behind. I'm gonna say that you got the flow, my brother.
All right. Happy Wednesday to everybody on the panel. Not you, Roger. Nope. Mm-mm. Right. Not you. Okay. Blessed last day of the year for all of you gentlemen. Not you, Roger. Not you. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Not you, Roger. Not you. I can't believe what I just saw. Oh, by the way, before I get started, Truth Teller got 500 points back from his 10,000 credit. So he still owes
This is the truth teller report.
9,500. All right. Because his whole sense tingled the right way today. Congratulations, brother. Okay, Roger, let me ask you something. Is there a right way to set your ass on fire?
Technically, yes.
Oh, really?
Technically, yes.
Oh, let me guess. Kerosene versus gasoline or propane?
I mean, if you're gonna take yourself out, at least make sure you're going out the first time. I'm gonna just say that.
So you just said, brothers, I know you want to set your behind on fire. And I'm gonna show you the right way to set your ass on fire. Nah, bro. Don't set your on fire. Nah. Go seek help. Go seek therapy. Go seek Jesus. Nah, brother. Let me teach you how to do it the right way. And my best advice for you is to do all the steps all the way. And then you're going to meet her child right before the wedding. What happens if you can't get along with the child? Oh, and by the way, what's his name? The Great Black Reset. I heard you said to take all four of them to dinner. We are not doing basketball team player. Okay? The only single mothers that can be reasoned with is a single mother of one. If she has one child, okay, that's one mistake. Maybe she might be salvageable. Anything past one, I don't know what they're talking about. You're only recreational use only. And thank you very much. And also, I'm gonna say right now, Bible study finna be lit today.
I see y'all back there. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna see y'all back there. Y'all ain't scared me. I'm gonna see y'all back there.
Hey,
But
can Roger before the illustrious Gold P graces us with his opening statement, I just want to make a reply to something that was said earlier. We know your stance and your position with this, and we're gonna let you stay out there in traffic with this one. but then the Great Black Reset, he said something. He started off, but then he kind of went off the rail too. He said,
Okay.
take them all out and spend money on all of them on the first date. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, wait. Who said that? Hold on. Let me sit you over in the same category with Roger for a quick second.
Okay.
Because now, one thing I do know about single mothers, they know how to tell their children, you better act right. When we go in this Kmart, you better not touch nothing. Don't ask for nothing. You're not getting nothing. Okay. So now, when the Great Black Reset, gets ready to take Quisha and all 6 of her, test tube babies out the Ruth's Chris.
Chuck E.
dinner,
Cheese. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
You did this to yourself. She gonna tell Huey, Riley, Glocktavius, all of them. Y'all better go here and act like y'all got some
Not
sense.
Octavius.
Y'all better act like your grandmama taking you out to dinner tonight. Cause if y'all mess this up for me, I'ma kill all of y'all. And I'm all 3 of y'all baby daddies. All y'all baby daddies ready to make another one. So don't make me mad. I can make another one. Y'all bet not. That's what she gonna tell them while they spending all of your money on the first date. That's all I'm
I'm spending my money to be entertained by this foolishness. Because I
Brother,
preface all of
go
this by
to a
saying,
comedy show. Go to the 85 South show. Go see Mike Epps. Go, man, go get an old version of the Kings of Comedy. Watch Bernie Mac again. But don't spend your money just to be entertained like that, bro.
but this Roger fault. I say don't do it. But he want to have this train wreck. So I'm telling you the best way to have the train wreck. That's all I'm doing.
Yo,
Listen,
fellas,
That's all.
Roger's dating a single mother right now. He's trying to figure out a way to just justify it. So he gonna
Oh,
try to
he's
talk
trying.
us and he gonna talk us into accepting it. That's all that is.
you know what, Jackson? You know
He
what?
finally called that chick back and found out what's happening.
You might be on one, Shark Tank, but I'm gonna stop right here because the illustrious Gold P is here, and he should have an opening statement. But Roger, you go ahead and introduce Gold P.
What matter of fact, Bad Back him. Did I give you an opening statement?
Nah, you skipped Mad Black Gamer. You did him dirty.
Yeah, my apologies. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, fellas. How y'all doing? My sound okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, and also happy New Year's Eve to you guys. First of all, I'm going to I need to repent myself because I am a single dad that has dated single mothers, and I'm definitely going to be staying after for Bible study this evening. First of all, I want to go off what Truth Teller said earlier about the no bra situation. That is definitely a dead giveaway. That anytime you see a woman like that, single mom, expect to see if there's no bra, and also know that she is you're gonna have to wear the protection because she's definitely raw dogging for sure. That's how she got in that situation to begin with, and that's a normal practice of hers. The other thing is, I'm actually going to defend Roger a little bit because I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to be a saint, and what he's trying to do is he's trying to protect the kids from finding out that their mom is a hoe. I think that's really what the spirit of all this about is. Like, don't see the kids because they don't need to know that their mama a hoe. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's basically what it gets down to is like because women will they don't care about their kids like that. They'll bring all kinds of men around their kids and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be in the house and things of that nature. That's like, on real talk. That's how a lot of kids get molested and shit. You know, bring around like wrong type of guy into the house and put them in a position where they can be close enough to the point where they can touch the kids or stuff like that. The bad guys and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, hey, look, single moms are for recreational use. I do agree with the guy that said, like, yeah, if they got more than one, if they got less than one, then then they can be, they can be given another chance. But if they got more than one, they're damaged goods and they're always recreational use. And I'm gonna land my plane right there, fellas.
All right, Gold P, go ahead, brother.
What's happening?
Man, what's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
Off top. Now, before I begin, you guys know what it is. I always start my first minute with support the Roger Report. Hit that like button, subscribe. You guys know
Matter of fact, before you go, Gold P, I gotta say shout out to you. I was supposed to say something about you because he sent the Cash App in, y'all. $5.95. Say all taxes paid. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Real talk. Go ahead and start your 2 minutes over. Go ahead.
Roger being nice today. Ain't that something? Roger being nice.
Trying to dodge this business we gonna give him.
Oh, no. I got something for all y'all. Don't even worry about that. Don't even worry about that.
Look, listen. All right, hit that like button, support the channel. We are on the Roger Report. Now, the other side of it is Great Reset. I don't recall Roger saying you paid your taxes. You didn't pay no taxes, brother. You need to pay taxes. Shark, you conjured me up, brother. You said you ain't gonna. Yeah, you guys be trying to start stuff with me. I ain't even came in the building, man. You know, some reason y'all want to start stuff. Now, today, for the record, I'm with Roger. I say you should marry these hoes. I mean, these whatever you want to call them. I say you should marry them, love them, and if they have more than
Cut his mic off.
5,
Turn his mic off. Yeah,
why
turn that shit off.
why y'all interrupting me,
Cut his mic
man?
off.
Why
He went
y'all?
over 2 minutes.
I thought I was on mute. My bad. My bad.
Start it over. Why y'all interrupting me, man? I'm giving my monologue. I'm saying I'm rocking with Roger today. We should marry these hoes. I mean, he should marry these hoes. I don't mean to call them hoes. I mean, these ladies, each they should marry. He should marry them. I'm Roger. I want to be there to watch you give your accept her hand in marriage, brother. I want to be there. I'm supportive of you, brother. I'm supportive of you. Do your thing. You need some advice? You need me to help you with anything, brother? I'm here for you. I'll pay another $5.95. Great reset, pay your taxes, brother. That's my 2 minutes.
No, I feel you. I feel what you're saying, Go P. I'll buy Roger an air fryer for the wedding.
Yeah, we gonna take care of it. He's our partner, man.
Yeah, you should have never gave these niggas microphones. Real talk.
All I know is them kids ain't getting no soup.
All right. Well, let me deal with this, y'all. Let me deal with this because again, y'all, there should be some adult way, some mature way to deal with what's going on in the Black community. And let's keep it real. A lot of men are dating single mothers. Okay. Now, has it lessened some? Probably. I do believe it has lessened some. And I do believe that's because, people are starting to see the results of too many single mother homes. Because now you got people that are actual adults who have children that have become adults that came out of a single mother home themselves. So at the end of the day, a lot of people are looking at what's really in it for me. But if you gave people proper guidelines, some people just not going to touch it. So being realistic, should you meet a child before you propose? No. Because if it ain't that serious, why meet the child at all? And guess what? Part of Bad Black Gamer actually stumbled on something because part of this is a way to actually have children protected because people gonna say, well, what about the people messing with kids that don't belong to them? From a sexual standpoint. Well, that don't even come up to a person get access. And if you don't like a woman enough to marry her, why you want to meet her kids? I don't even get it. Why would you want to meet kids of a person you don't like enough to marry?
Roger, just go ahead and tell us, man. You met honey at Subway and you want to get down with her. Just say it.
Not at all. As I've said many times, you can't be a great content creator without doing content for the audience. Okay, so it ain't about what I'm doing personally. And I did tell y'all for a while that I was going to do another show about people who date single mothers because it needs to be talked about, and people do need to have some level of guideline. Now, shout out to all my hosts to monetize. He said, "Go P Tax to mute his mic the rest of 2025."
Damn.
Everybody got that work for me, man.
Hey, Gold P.
I'm on Roger's side today. Why y'all got that work for me, man? I'm on Roger's side.
I'm gonna have that work for you because I'm talking about the illustrious Gold P coming up to say something, and you agree with Roger?
I'm saving Roger, man, because he's my guy.
Okay.
But I told y'all, anytime you find yourself in agreement with Gold P, You need to look in the mirror and see what's wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, man, why I can't agree with Roger, man?
Well, the thing
You know
is,
what? You know what?
you're
You
not
can
agreeing
agree
with
with
me.
Roger. You can agree with Roger. And we gonna give Roger this one, y'all. Just bear with me for a minute. We gonna give Roger this one and say that we're not gonna meet these children until we done got a wedding date set. We're gonna also give Great Black Reset his. We gonna meet them on the first date. We're gonna take them out. We're not gonna take them to Applebee's. We gonna take them to Papa Do's or something like that. We gonna spend some money so that we can see how many baby kids we got to deal with. Okay, cool. Now what?
Hey,
Now what?
Roger.
What's the next step in dating a single mother?
I mean, there is things that should actually be considered. Now, real talk, because if you're going to go into this process and you're going to do it correctly, there's going to be some challenges that are going to come up. Because number one, every single mother ain't going to have it where there's no contact with the father. Some of them going to have fathers that now you have to deal with. Now, when it comes to two different men, you're going to have to deal with the fact that you have a household and they got a household. What is your child allowed to do at each household? Are you going to be able to have a decent relationship with the father of the child? Or are you going to try to be overbearing? Now, and the thing is, there's always a possibility it's going to come up that the man who she had a child with is going to say, well, you can't do that to my child. And I understand where that guy coming from. I wouldn't care, but I do understand where he's coming from. Because if I was going to do that, your child is in my home. I make the rules over here. And that's it. See, I understand that's your kid, but I make the rules in my home. So what is going to naturally happen? Well, what if the guy say, well, you can't hit my kid? Well, that's how I discipline children. If your child lives here, your child is subject to my rule. So now I'm telling a grown man, your child is subject to my rule. Now, what can he really do about that? Nothing for real that he'll be healthy about if the child lives with me. So now the question will come up, do I beef with the other man? No, I'm not going to do that because truth be told, it's his kid, not mine. And see, this is where it gets tricky for folks. Because me, I'm willing to put the child out. Because when daddy say what I can't do in my house, daddy got to come get his kid.
Let me ask you a question. Keep the mama. Put the kids out and keep the mama. That's what we doing, Roger.
Let me ask you a question. Since you want to play Captain Save a Hoe, what's the return on investment for dealing with your big mama hoes?
Yeah, what's the ROI?
I'm sorry. What's the ROI on kicking the mama out? You said
no, on dealing with them. Period.
No, brother. I'm not telling you there's a good ROI. This is not going to be a show where we just saying don't do it. No, if you gonna do it, these are the things you got to actually consider. Truth be told, if men really thought about what needs to be considered, I bet a lot less of them would actually do it. But nobody talks about what they need to consider. And guess what? If you deal with a single mother, you got to consider another man telling you what you can't do to his child that lives in your home. That comes with the territory.
Yeah, see, I like that. Me and Roger are on the same page today. We're gonna save we're gonna save her. We're gonna save that single mama.
I'm saying realistically, there's gonna be some issues because think about this. There's a woman. I'm on the phone with a guy who's a father of let's say one of the children, because you could be multiple. However y'all gonna do it out there. One guy called me and say, you can't hit. Well, hold on, let me read this real quick first before I say that. Shout out to all my hosts to monetize. He said, the Roger Report Live, child support for you. Hashtag Stepdaddy Roger 2026. All I'm gonna say is good luck if that happens. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all. Good luck. Okay, because I don't see nothing happening in 2026. Right? That's just real talk.
No,
but I appreciate
Roger,
the thought.
no.
I appreciate the thought.
No, Roger. 2026, because we know lately you especially been talking about getting married. You always talking about marriage. So we know what it is, brother.
Marriage has
And
never been the problem.
I'm supporting you. You want to marry a single mama? I'm with you, brother. And I agree with Roger.
Y'all ain't gonna put this stuff on me.
No,
okay.
Today, me and Roger agree.
Man, I'm hosting the show. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to deal with real issues that's
so
gonna come
the host of the show is doing what he needs to do. Put it out there that he's interested in getting married and to a woman like the one on the screen. And live life, brother. I'm with you, Roger. I'm with you.
It's gonna be something in Bible study. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna let that go.
Hey,
now,
Chef is gonna be the person who marries you, and you know we'll be all right, bro.
No.
Yes, you are, Chef.
Nope. I'm letting y'all. No, I'm sitting on the side eating popcorn. Y'all can be all involved in this train wreck. I'm sitting over here.
No, Chef. You are the one who's gonna have them say their vows, brother. And I'm gonna be the best man.
Well, getting back to the subject of the show, because I do think there is an important point. Because at some point you're gonna have to deal with a man's opinion about how to raise his child in your home if you take this role on. Now, I'm gonna say, being realistic. Most men, we know we are scared of black women for sure. You're probably scared of other women too, but you're definitely afraid of black women. So when a man tells you, you can't hit my child, are you going to tell him, well, your child can't live in my home? Now, see, me, I wouldn't question what to do with another man's child because it's his child, not mine. So I'm going to have to agree with him. You don't want me to hit your child, that's fine, but your child can't live with me while that's in place. Because you can't tell me how to run my house. You see what I'm saying? So this is not me disrespecting the guy, but you can't tell me how to run my house.
Hey, hold on, Roger. Hold on. But do you think that's a way of the guy telling the girl, because he still may want her, that you can't be with this dude? You think that's what's happening?
Hey, that could possibly be the case, but it's nothing for me to consider. No one's gonna run my house but me. It's nothing for me to consider. See, I'm the thing is, if you're going to do this and be a man at the same time, because it's a difficult tick, because now you got to deal with all these other men. I'm not bowing to no other man, just like I don't expect no other man to bow to me. I'm just setting a precedent on how my household.
Oh, you're going to put the children out and keep the mama.
Well, I mean, that's on her at the end of the day, because you're going to have to deal with the fact that he going to say what he say to me on the phone. I'm be like, look, bro, over my house, at my house, children get disciplined. If I think they need to be hit, that's what's going to happen. So now if that's an issue, no. If that's going to be an issue for you, I'm talking to the man. I'm not worried about what no woman talking about. I'm talking to a man about his child. Look, brother, that's going to be her, that she don't matter at this world. We talking about children. She don't matter. Okay. I'm talking to a man about his kid. If he's going to insist that I cannot hit his child, when I see fit, look, bro, I can't tell you how to raise your kid. It's your kid. I gotta give deference to the fact that it's your kid. So come pick him up.
But Roger, no.
No. Ain't no. Come pick your kid up.
You in love with her, Roger.
Come pick your kid up is the only good way to handle it.
She said, no, this is a package deal.
Whoa. We talking about that man's child, right?
Yeah, we talking about his child? The child is with her. And she's going into your house.
That man is saying what he don't want to happen to his child. Does he have a right to say that?
But he can say
wait, Roger, I think he just proved your point for you. He said it's a package deal, which means you bought the package, which means the package is yours now. Ain't no discussion about what the hell going on in my house with whoever is in it. If you don't like it, don't come to my house.
So, Roger, you want to put the kids out because you want to keep the mama.
I'm not putting the kids out. The man don't want me. The man don't want me to touch his child.
Wait. How's Roger putting the kids out though? I don't understand.
He's putting the kids out because the daddy said, you can't do nothing to my kids. You can't discipline my kids, right? So the mama is the kid is with the mama, which she and the kids are a package. Now Roger is saying, "I'm in love with you, baby. We getting married. We gonna live life together."
Go Pete. How another man gonna tell me how to run my house?
But hold on, I was trying to let Go Pete go. Go ahead, yeah.
Listen to what I'm saying. If they're a package deal, and you are wanting to be married to that package, and you say, "This is my house. This is my house," and you talk to the daddy, and the daddy says, "Well, you can't discipline my child," and then you say, "Well, you know, the child can't stay at my house," but the mama says, "This is a package deal." Now, what you doing, Roger?
Hey, I'll answer that, Roger. I can answer that for Roger. It sounds like mama and daddy need to figure out what the hell's going to happen, because it ain't going to happen in Roger's house the way they want it.
So Roger has to make a decision. Either put
no. The decision isn't Roger's. You're skipping over because you try to be funny. The decision isn't Roger's. It's the child's mother and father's decision.
No, that's not right. Because Roger is with the package.
Okay, what?
No. Roger bought the package. Now, that means his rules fall onto that package. Now, the people in the package, if they decide they don't like his rules, they need to make a decision. Do I stay his package? Do I split up and become two pieces of a package? Or do I follow along with this nigga saying? Because I'm his package. That's their decision. That ain't got nothing to do with Roger.
It does. It's Roger's package.
Let me read this super chat because I think it fits real good right here. Shout out to Dare. I said it. He said, "Hate to say it, Roger. Black men outside of this space lack the balls to check Keisha in this way. Either the child goes or I go." And I'm gonna say you're probably correct because, like I said, there's never been a guideline on how to deal with a person dealing with a single mother. The man is in charge, right? I'm the man running my household. I'm talking to a man about his child. I can't overrule another man about his own child. That's out of place. See, if we want to respect men, we got to respect men even when it's uncomfortable. I can't overrule him about his child, but he can't overrule me about my house. So there's a very simple issue. Hey, bro, I understand where you're coming from. I respect you. Just come pick your child up. He'll be ready tomorrow morning. We'll get him packed up for you. Is that
just for a visit, or is that a permanent thing?
He already said I can't discipline his child. His child can't live at my home if I can't discipline him.
But so Roger, you shouldn't even have to explain that, though. Hold on. Why are you asking Roger to explain what the father of the child gonna do?
This is weird. Roger is saying that it is his home, right? If he's saying that it is his home, and he's talked to the man of the kids that are not his, right? And the man says, "No, you can't discipline my kid." And Roger says, "Well, if I can't run my home and discipline my kids the way I desire to discipline my kids, then the kids gotta go."
Right.
Why is that issue?
Why is that an issue?
The kids came with the mother. Now Roger's in a position to where he's got to decide whether the mother is going to be in his life with the kid, or
I don't understand that though. You got to clarify for me. What in God's name does it have to do with them being the mother and the kid being one package? I'm lost on that. I don't quite understand.
Okay.
Is the mother on the baby daddy side, or is the mother on Roger's side?
Truth teller, man. Listen, man.
I'm asking for clarification.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I got another guest backstage. Brother, you're going to have to turn your camera off, and I will bring you up right after this little spat. I'm going to see where this goes, then I'm going to bring you up to give you a statement. So the brother backstage, you got to turn your camera off if you want to be on the show, and I'm going to bring you up right after this little thing to say what you want to say. All right, go ahead, Gopi.
Listen, man. If you have a woman and some kids, that's the package, man. And she rarely, if ever, want to give up that package, right?
I hear you.
So she is now Roger. He said, "Oh, I love you, baby, and you want to be with me, baby. We're gonna be a family, baby." And now they're a family unit. Now the father, Roger, somehow talks to the father.
Right.
Now Roger and the father has back and forth, and the father says, "Well, Roger, you better not put your hands on my kids, man. They're my kids."
Right.
Right?
No, it's not a back and forth. He is an authority about his child. I can't.
Right. I was about to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say that, but I was letting him finish. I was letting you finish. Go ahead, Gopi.
It's not a back and forth. Okay. All right. Good, Roger. It's not a back. The father told you what you ain't supposed to do, what you can't do. And you said, Roger, hey, this is my house. Ain't nobody gonna tell you, ain't another man gonna tell me what I can do in my house. Right. That's what you said, Roger. Right? So when you say that, now there's a decision. Because the mom.
No, there isn't. There isn't a decision. You skip it. You skip it.
A decision for who?
There's a decision for you, Roger, because now you have taken on this family.
I no decision to make, bro. My decision's been made.
Okay. But your decision is this man is not going to tell me what he can and can't do in my house. Right?
My decision is not about the man. My decision is about me. I'm a grown man.
Right.
I'm gonna run my
house. So what you're telling
you? I'm telling you.
Well, hold on. You actually trying to
decision. You made
go pee. Go pee. No, you're not.
Real quick.
You trying to push the decision thing onto the man who sets the rules. He set the rules.
His decision.
So what's his decision? To keep the kid or get rid of the kid?
His decision is to say, okay, this father right here says I can't do this, that, and other in my house. Right?
He's respecting the father. Right.
So Roger, because this is going to fall on Roger because Roger accepted the package.
Correct.
That's Roger's family now.
Right. But you have somebody coming from outside the package telling you what you could do with the package.
Listen.
Hold on. Let me finish
Roger is in control of what is in his home. He's saying, "Can't nobody tell me what I'm going to do in my home." Nobody, right?
So then, where's the decision?
But here, the decision is because Roger and that woman are going to have a conversation.
Okay.
They're going to have a conversation because it might come up, which more likely will happen than not, where that child or those kids are jumping on that couch. Roger just bought that new couch.
Look, we can't stretch this out.
I don't even know where you're going.
And I got black people here. We can't stretch it out, bro. We can't stretch it out. I got people that got to get in. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you this, Gold P. I'm going to tell you this just so you'll know. Bro, it's not going to be much of a conversation. The man already said what not to do to his child. I either have to decide as a man, I'm going to respect him or I'm going to disrespect him.
So you got a decision to make.
No. I don't have a decision to make. My decision was made before he existed in my world. Ain't no man telling me what to do in my home.
Okay.
That's just an automatic thing. He don't want his child disciplined by me. That's fine. It's his kid. Why would I care about this? There's nothing for me to care about.
So are you going to keep the kids?
Bro, I already said his child will be ready the next morning.
All right. So you're not keeping the kids. So that means you're gonna keep the woman and kick the kids out, right?
She can stay if she wants to. That ain't got nothing to do with her.
She wants to, but
that ain't got nothing to do with her.
Decision that has to be made. Whether if she says, "Oh, I got to go with my kids because those we came as a
bro," that's on her. I'm supposed to fight to keep her in the house.
Right.
Gold P sound like a scared nigga. Why you arguing this, Gold P?
Yeah, I'm supposed to fight to keep her in the house. Is that what you said?
You ain't talking. You are the ones not making the sense.
All right.
Gentlemen, can we please move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Cause I got Black Guru here.
Black Guru is still waiting.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna make the elder keep waiting. So we can table this part until after Bible study, but let's give the floor to Black Guru.
Yeah, and after Black Guru, I'm bringing up a new guest that hasn't been on the show before. And for the new guest, if you've been here before, you should know Black Guru got elder privilege, so he's gonna go right to the front. So Black Guru, you had the flow, brother.
Peace, please, Black Guru. Peace.
Peace. Since you have someone new, I'd be willing to defer to allowing the new person to come on board and go through your vetting process. So I'm willing to wait until then.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a new guy. Looks like the name is Macklin. I'm gonna bring him on stage. Macklin, you're gonna get a 2-minute opening statement where we gonna even go Pete. We gonna relax and let you say what you want to say. And just for clarity purposes, because there'll be more new people who come to the show here and there. There are 6 rules that we are enforcing over here at the Roger Report Live. I'm gonna go over these rules real quickly, and then Macklin, you'll have the flow right after that. So, rule number 1: no talking over the host. That would be me. Rule number 2, stick to the subject of the show. Don't spin off and go in all kinds of crazy directions. Stick to the subject of the show. Number 3, be respectful to others as they speak. Number 4, everyone is afforded a 2-minute uninterrupted opening statement. Use it wisely. 5, different opinions are welcome, but you must remain respectful at all times. 6, keep the cursing to a minimum. Macklin, you have the flow. Say what you want to say, and we'll move from there. Excuse me, Marklin, it says. Marklin, you have the floor.
I appreciate you. I love this show, by the way. I listen to it all the time. I was just thinking about if it's your house, then if he says to you about his child, look, you're not gonna be hitting my child, and you're saying, look, it's my house, and whatever goes down is my say so. The relationship is over at that point, and that is the woman's fault. She's going to carry that burden every time she gets into a new situation with a new man. It is her initiation of the interplay of allowing sex to happen. So she is going to have to bear the burden of her decision making throughout the course of her lifetime so she can get the importance of sex. So that's her judgment. So between the two men, what can you do? That's just a cancellation. I agree with both of y'all. So I don't know where it can go after that. All I can see is just a product of her decision making. And it's her time to just be exposed in this particular point of our judgment in Revelations. So it's her time to be put on the auction block of you did this wrong. You're doing this wrong. Up, see what happens when you do that. I mean, she wants to be known for being in charge now, right? So now she's got to bear every aspect of the importance of family, the production of children, how important it is to raise them, and the consequences of her being the first to start the initiation of child production. So she's got to grow up now. It's time for her to learn. She's about to burn for real because men don't have no money. They get desperate. More knowledge is increasing. And we are now no longer spiritually dumb, but we are financially in bondage. But until that happens, she gonna need us like it ain't no another tomorrow because we have to defend in the street. But we don't want her like that, and she ruined it, and that's part of her judgment. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, well, appreciate you, Marklin. Appreciate you. Well said, my brother. Well said. Blackaroo, back to you, and then I'm gonna get in right after you.
There are lots of this. I have questions about the logistics of Roger's recommendation. But before I get into it, boy, it's amazing. I think there's a kind of a Cerebro or Professor X thing happening sort of cybernetically, neurologically, because I would say less than like yesterday or whatever, I saw this this video where they're a pair of dudes and a pair of women, or appear to be at least, and the men kind of jokingly said that if when they meet a woman and her children are friendly, they know she's a hoe. And the men started laughing because they knew exactly what that meant. The women were like, "Well, we don't understand why her children being friendly means she's a hoe." And the men explained, "Well, the children being friendly mean that they've been introduced to a lot of different dudes." So they become acclimated to meeting new guys, which means that their mama is being run through by a lot of different men. And I was thinking about that in the context of what you're presenting here, Roger, in that, and I think Chef Mike touched on this quite eloquently as well. Man, you're going to learn a lot about that woman by the behavior of those children. You're going to learn so much about that woman by the behavior of the children that she cannot hide, right? That it's, and even the logistics of getting to the point of proposing to a woman without meeting her children, I'm just confused by how that actually logistically works. Like, I've gotten to the point where I might have taken trips with this woman. I might, all dinners, maybe holidays, because usually those things kind of happen before folks get to the point of proposing to some degree. So I've gotten through all of that, but I have not met her children.
Hold on, I got one last
I,
shoot.
I don't really see, I don't really see the logistics of that. Even if I could vibe with the concept or the rationale behind what you're saying, I don't see how that works in a practical way because children tend to consume a woman's life to a degree that for her to then somehow get become engaged, where a man has gotten to the point of proposing to her and not becoming acquainted with this most essential part of who she is. Again, I'd be curious as to how that maybe you and Truth Teller seem to be the strongest proponents of this argument. I'd be curious as to how the logistics of that would work.
Can I put forth a disclaimer? Ooh, marriage was not in the point of my saying you should never meet the kids.
Okay.
Especially if you.
Well, but see, Roger put it in the context of possibly proposing. No, if we're
Okay.
not gonna get married, then
Yeah, no.
I mean, I don't know if I see
Ain't
much
no
of a
reason to
point
meet
at
them damn
all.
kids.
Yeah. But
And,
if
and
we're getting serious enough where we're meeting, because if you propose to the woman, you're not going to meet any of her family at all. You're not going to meet her siblings or her parents. You're not going to go to her home, or if you go to her home, then that means that her children is always somewhere else while you're visiting her home. I mean, that's not even really
I think Roger's
like
trying to say that you shouldn't meet your kids unless you're being
logical.
intentional about it.
I
Well,
think
no,
what you're
he
presenting
said
is just some extra problems a woman's gonna have to solve. That's what that's how I hear it. You do have some extra problems she's gonna have to solve. Because where her kids
well,
gonna
but
be if I go to meet her mom and
I
dad?
don't think she can. I don't think she can solve those problems. I don't think it's. I mean, I don't know if it's even. Um, I'm using this term, I guess, because I can't think of a better one at this moment. I don't know if it's even fair to expect a woman to solve the problem of making her children essentially invisible to you, because that's what you're functionally talking about doing. And again, there's one thing if y'all just fucking. You know, if y'all just fucking, then yeah, I mean, the children should be. I mean, you're meeting in the hotels maybe or whatever. She's got a babysitter. She's hiding the toys or whatever. You know, you're just kind of doing sort of an outlaw kind of thing. But if it's getting to the point where you're like getting serious about marrying this woman and she's got children, I don't see how that functionally plays out.
And Uru,
Without her,
how do you get to the
unless she's a damn genie or a witch or something, where she could just magically make shit disappear. Outside of that, I just don't see how she do it.
And Uru, how does he get to the point to get in a crib with this chick and he never met the kids before?
Oh, that's easy.
That's my point.
No, that's easy.
Well,
They've been doing that for years.
You could make that work. You can make that work on an outlaw basis, like Batman, the Dark Knight kind of scenario. I mean, you can make that, but not to the point of possibly marrying her. That's a whole different kind of thing. That's Bruce Wayne activity. That's not Batman activity.
Hey, there's a lot of families that think, there's a lot of men who've had families on both sides of the street. So,
but
man, them ladies knew.
What I'm saying is, there is a reality that a woman would find herself with some new difficulties because of the decisions she made previous to the man she's with. So if I'm using myself as an example, you having to quote unquote hide your kids is your personal problem that you need to be solved, that you need to be able to solve. I need to see, can you solve problems? And if you don't know how to solve the problem, you come to me and I tell you how to get rid of the kids.
But her hiding her kids is a problem in itself, Raj.
I don't think that's a healthy. I don't think that's a healthy thing to expect a woman to do. I don't see. I mean, that her children are the most essential part of her life. So expecting her to even be able to do that, I mean, how are you expecting? And I'd be almost kind of suspicious of a woman that's capable of effectively doing it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this, and shout out to the Great Black Reset. He said, "Wrestle alligators with hands and feet bound." Mm-hmm. And just as difficult as that would be, it may be that difficult for her to have to quote unquote hide her kids for a time period, but it's not that big a deal. You had children without a husband, ain't that big a deal? If you can do that, you can have some kids.
Roger, she's not going to hide those kids because she already know what it is. She's not letting go of those kids. She's not. When she came into your house, when you said, "This is my girl, this is we are a family now."
Before you get to that point, Gopi, the point is you can hide those children until we get to that point. If you can't hide the children,
hide those kids, Roger.
Listen to me, Gopi. Hold on, listen to me, Gopi. If you can't make your kids disappear effectively while we have a relationship with each other, then you just shouldn't have it.
Roger, she's not going to hide those kids from you, sir.
Gopi, if you cannot hide them kids during our relationship, you shouldn't have it.
Roger.
Quick question: Is it hiding, or I should meet them until we get serious into the relationship? Is that what you're saying, Roger? Or you shouldn't even know she has kids?
I can know she got kids. That's not the issue. Unless I'm willing to propose. Actually, you'll say, "I want you to be my wife." You have said yes, and we actually set a wedding date. I don't need to know these kids.
That's
They're
stupid,
not important.
Roger.
Actually, it's not.
That's the problem.
Roger
said now.
She doing that in itself is a red flag. And then second of all, this is why you're not supposed to be messing with them in the first place, because you're literally messing with another man's family. That's it. Even if they're not together or not, they got a kid together. That's that man's family. You need to so you arguing with a man about what you're going to do with his family is crazy in itself.
Exactly.
I want to throw something else out here, fellas. And this is just a thought. And because Roger, I don't think you've taken what Black Uru said into consideration fully. let's say you are dating this single mother, and she says, Roger, I want you to come to church with me. Are you expecting her to put the child away because you're going to church with her?
Our
And
children
no,
go to.
wait, I ain't finished.
I
Because,
gotta hear this.
because most times when a woman says, I want you to come to church with me, and I'm not talking about, I ain't talking about loose women right now. I'm talking about a woman who has some sense about herself. She's going to say, come to church with me because she has a pastor, she has deacons, she has other men there that is going to vet you. And if you have all of these demands about, well, I don't want to see the kids, put the kids away, that's going to throw a red flag up for you about you, because now you look suspicious. And I don't think you appreciate fully what Black Uru said. It's like, no, you got to meet these people. Who's going to say, yes, I'm going to marry a person, and you hadn't met this woman's kids, you hadn't interacted with her children, her family. These are essential things that need to take place in order for a marriage to happen. This isn't optional, because we are talking about people's lives. This is not optional. You have to meet these children, because what if you end up marrying a woman and she got the Menendez brothers as you don't know it because you foolishly, set these parameters. And I say that, not insultingly, but it's the thought. It's like, it's just not possible. That's like telling somebody to walk from wherever across the Great Lakes to Chicago, but you can only get your toes wet. You understand what I mean? It's like, no, that's not possible. And to set it up that way, it puts more suspicion on the man. In my opinion, it puts more suspicion. I'm sorry. Now, I don't tell grown people what to do, but I wish, my sister, my cousin would tell me, I'm getting ready to marry this man, and ain't nobody met him. He ain't met the kids yet. Wait, who is this? And what country is he running from? You understand? It's some deeper questions that go to that interaction between you and the kids than just what we're talking about on the surface. It's really a lot deeper than that, because you take the chance of actually doing damage to children who got nothing to do with this.
Yeah, I got a question too. What would Jesus do, Roger?
Chef Mike, what? Chef,
Black kids is in the
That's a valid question. No, let him answer that question. I can't
I got an answer.
Y'all don't want the answer to this question. Y'all really don't want the answer to this question.
When he get done with that, Chef Mike, I got a very important question for you. But go ahead, Roger. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sink the ship. Go ahead.
I think Jesus would be on my side on this. If you're not gonna marry her, there's no real reason for you to introduce yourself to these kids and all the different things that go along with these children, knowing all these different men that mama been with ain't gonna be helpful to them in no kind of way. And truth be told, y'all, when I've talked to men who've been married, I have not met a man who's been married more than 3 times anyway. And I'm talking about people who done got divorced or somebody died or whatever the case. No man I've ever talked to has been married more than 3 times. Okay? That's a minority of women in your life. You don't really need to meet somebody's kids unless it's that serious. You might marry 3 women in your whole lifetime. Maybe 3 in your entire lifetime.
I think where we coming up against the wall with you is you actually said you're going to propose to her and set a date. Now, I can see you say to yourself, you know what? I want to take Chantel serious. now let me meet her kids. And then from there, then you decide to get the ring and propose. I could understand that, but that never meeting the kids, buying a ring, buying them 2 rings, proposing and setting a date and telling your mama and your father this the day. That's preposterous, man.
I
That's
think
Oh, hold on.
Roger doesn't know the difference. If I'm to take him serious, I don't think he knows the difference between a jump off and a wife.
No, I'm gonna say real. Well, go ahead, you tell them.
I was gonna say, I think I understand. I think I understand where the gap is, right, and where we are in this discussion right now. Y'all niggas don't know what engagement is.
Wait. Chef Mike, this can't go on. Chef Mike, I got a question for you. Are you there,
when
Chef
are you
Mike?
taking suits?
Chef Mike,
I'm
how,
here. What's up?
how much money? How much money do I have to send so you will take Roger's suit for the rest of 2025? How much?
Damn. Send the
How
rest of
much?
2025.
This is ridiculous.
Whoa, boy.
Yeah, just take his
This
suit and let
this
Uber run the show.
this is the worst advice in all of modern human history. Listen, he don't have too much caffeine or something.
He didn't even say liquor. He said caffeine.
This man didn't get no sleep last night.
Man, it was a rough night last night. I say
Hey,
that. It was a
I
rough
was
night last night.
rocking with Roger until Roger just misunderstood the difference. I realized he didn't know the difference between a jump off and a wife. I was rocking with Roger.
That was the first indication that I had that Roger was dead wrong. As soon as Gold P came in and said, "I'm with Roger," I knew this was going off the rails.
Well, I'm gonna say this, y'all. I'm gonna say this. Real talk. A commitment when it comes to a marriage is between 2 people, a man and a woman. Their children are not involved.
Ideally. Stop.
Yeah, thank you.
Stop.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, Roger.
I mean,
You
I
proved my
think
point, Roger.
that's broken. I think that formula is fine when you come into it without children. I think that's the way
Bingo.
I don't know if the Bible was set up for stepchildren. I think you're applying the standard that was supposed to happen when both of y'all got married at 19 years old.
Which I
You know,
believe
so
is
yeah.
No, I ain't gonna cut you off, but I'm gonna say I believe you're correct in that. But I'm gonna say this: if you do something the wrong way to make a right thing, it's gonna be some extra work. So I don't care how much extra work she has to do to get the job done. She started off wrong, so now it's gonna be hard to get the right thing done. That's your problem,
So
not mine.
I was trying to clarify this for everybody.
Before you clarify, shout out to all my hosts demonetized. He adding Chef Mike, so I don't know where this gonna go. He said, Chef Mike's round table. Take Roger, take Roger soon. now that is the order, pun intended.
You got to go, Roger. It's almost unanimous, Roger. You gonna have to go.
And he put he put a dub on it.
Oh yeah, you got to take that, Chef.
Roger.
I mean, it's just a dub. At the end of the day,
it's just a dub.
I'm the host of the show. I should be worth more than a dub. That's all I'm saying. I'm the host.
Yeah. Hey, Roger need that dub to take care of that woman and them 4 kids.
Well, I'm gonna make a couple points, but go ahead and say what you was gonna say though.
Well, I was gonna say, what makes what Roger's saying work is if we understand what engagement is, right? When you propose to somebody, you're now in lieu of marriage. There's still a vetting process that happens before you take the walk. I know in our community, we don't even see that part of it. Our engagement is, hey, will you marry me? And then a week later, we go to the courthouse. That's pretty much it. So in our minds, you got to do all your vetting before you ask. But truth be told, most of the vetting, the family reviews and the kid reviews and how they act and the financial stuff that's going on in the household, happens during the engagement period, which is why normally engagements took a year or two or maybe 3, depending on the families. So I think that's what we're
how
missing
long
the
were
gap.
you engaged, brother? How long you engaged?
A year and a half.
You're right. You're right, Truth Teller. You're right, Truth Teller. But a lot of qualifications have got to occur before you even get to an engagement.
True.
Engagement.
Because the
I agree.
commitment of engagement is in the exchange of the ring and the promise to marry and the introduction to people. So a whole lot of vetting's got to occur before you get to that engagement. So I agree with you. I agree with everything what you said. That is definitely traditionally true. But that doesn't mean that some basic bottom line qualifications don't occur prior to you exchanging that engagement.
Roger,
that is true. You supposed to at least met the parents, at least.
Roger,
right?
how long you been engaged, man?
Roger, hold on. Roger, read your super chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna make an announcement after this, okay? So I'm gonna definitely get my stuff out, okay? Yeah. It's the last day of the year. I know this is funny and all that to y'all, but this is something that needs to be addressed because of what happens in our community. And other men need to start giving men tips on how to do a proper playbook if they're going to engage in this behavior of dealing with single mothers. And some guys have kids, so they're going to deal with single mothers. There needs to be some rules in place. But shout out to Bruce on Wayne, who said, take this ninja suit.
Thank you.
Roger out. Roger on. Now, what I'm going to say, since there's been $25 put up today, y'all do $150 and I'm gone. If y'all, and this is not for other people, so we're not going to do a thing where y'all going to come and start doing this for other people to get them gone. But it's me, it's my show. I ain't going to feel too horrible. So if y'all put $150 on me being gone today, I'm gone. And the show can continue without me, and I'll just come up to close it, and that's it. If y'all really feel that way. But let me say this, because y'all niggas might start doing stuff real fast. So,
Wait a minute, Roger. Hold on. Because
go ahead.
I really now I'm gonna tell you how much we on the same page. I really was gonna say to Great Black Reset, you see they putting money on the wood now. If we get up to $100, I was gonna say $100, I was gonna jump in. But since you didn't put it at 150, cool. Hey, if we get 150, y'all, Roger gonna sit the rest of 25.
Just give Roger $149 and let him stay and get this cooking.
Listen, I'll give Roger 150 if he show and prove who he's getting ready to marry right now.
Give me a second.
Roger.
I'm gonna call somebody up and take your 150. I wouldn't do you like that.
Roger, you have somebody that you're saying she's a baby mama, single mother, whichever one, and I'm not mad at you, Roger. I mean, everybody deserves a relationship. I'm just saying, you should admit to it.
Well, I'm gonna say this: that's not happening. We'll go up to 5 hours, depending upon how the show goes. If we hit 150, I'm gone.
Why do you want to admit it?
We are effectively at $21.99 because I'm looking at the numbers. So we're effectively at $21.99 to get me up out of here.
Roger,
but
why you want to admit it?
Brother, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Why?
I'm doing this because
Roger?
I'm doing this because at the end of the day, this stuff is actually happening, and there is no
you
actual
are about family.
And I respect.
The thing is, it's actually happening, and there needs to be some rules in place because it is happening.
So are you adhering to your own rule?
I'm not putting the rules out to break them.
Okay, so tell us about your family, Roger.
My family is me.
Okay. Did
I ain't got no other family except extended family.
Roger? Have you met a woman, Roger?
No, Gold P, no. This has nothing to do with a woman.
Okay.
No. Have you met?
Gold P.
Gold P said no.
Okay. He said no.
Yeah, we're not gonna dig into this.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not saying it just because we on the air. No, this has nothing to do with some woman.
I got 150, man. I got one.
Now, but Roger, I understand when you breaking it down. I definitely understand where you're coming from, but the proper procedures is you don't date them. I mean, you don't take them that serious. You could have fun, you know what I mean. You could take her out every now and then and chill like that, but don't do it. Don't let yourself get to that point where you think you want to marry this female. They just for recreational use only.
I totally get where you're coming from. And my thing is, though, when men talk about this stuff, if there's no real things in place, they just gonna keep on doing what they've been doing.
Well, Roger, you proved me right, though.
Some guys are seeing the light, but I'm gonna say we need to have more guys see the light. So realistically speaking, if you show up as a mother first and you're trying to get into a marriage, it's supposed to be far more difficult because you did it out of order. That's why I don't need to meet your kids. For what?
Oh, Roger.
No. I'm being dead serious. Why I need to meet your kids if I haven't got to the point that I want to marry you? I don't need to meet them.
So Go P,
right,
he
Roger,
trying to
that's
say
a
she
given.
got to do the work to the point where he want to meet her kids.
All right, here's my thing, because I want to get past this particular part. All right, Roger, you got it. We're not meeting the kids. That's okay. That's your rule. That's on the list. Okay, what's the next rule? Is that, when you talk about kids, no more. What's the next rule? Dating a single mother.
And what I was getting to, the father feelings has to be taken in consideration. And that's why I was giving an example about somebody saying you can't hit my child. Those are his children. At the end of the day, you cannot cross the line. You must respect the other man. And a lot of women get guys in trouble with each other because they want them to start arguing about stuff that don't need to be argued about. Those are his kids. It is not my job to supersede him about his children. That's why I said, if the child is in my house, I got to discipline my way. If that man doesn't agree with how I discipline, his child is going to instantly be made available for him to pick up. And I understand, Gold P, your whole issue was, what is the mother going to say? What she can say what she want to say. The man doesn't say what he said. I respect the man. It's his children.
At what point in this process, in the timeline of this, are you having this coming to Jesus moment with the Father? Given that you're wholesale avoiding even meeting the children. So when are you working this out with the Father? After you've already been married and committed and everything, and okay, now we're going to try to figure out whether or not I can have dominion over these children. I mean, when does that happen?
I would recommend once you meet the children, you start talking to the parent or parents. Because if they're going to have an issue, and it could be a thing where he want his main thing back. That could be going on. You never really know what's going on in the situation. So now I want to know what's popping. And because if a guy has too many issues with me doing something for his children, you know something going on.
Even if I'm potentially open to giving you, punitive control, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know what kind of man you are. I don't know what kind of background you have. I don't know who this woman has went and brought into my children's life. And I'm going to give him punitive control merely because she's married this man that I don't know. She might think the world of you. I don't know you. I don't know what. Then you're going to be around my daughters. So again, the logistics of this. When you get into the logistics of it, it's one thing to view this conceptually, but when you think about and part of this, if with all due respect, part of this comes when you have children and you have to actually deal with all the shit of raising children. The shit gets much more murky and complex and complicated. And I don't know how can you even make a woman responsible for the father of the children having rightfully being protective of his children. I mean, like Shark said, you put yourself in a position where it just makes no sense doing it at all. It really don't. It don't make any
Uru,
sense doing it at all.
I actually disagree with you on that. It makes a lot of sense, right? It's basically two men respecting their lines, right? You have your house and your rules. The father said, I don't want you putting your hands on my child in your house. You say, I respect that. You got to come get your child because he can't be in my house. Now, if the woman
Okay,
wants to
but
overtake that,
that's presuming. That's
no, it's
presuming
not presuming.
that no, hold on. I
Mhm.
mean, because if it's as clean cut as you present, maybe that's okay. But maybe I'm just curious as to what kind of man you are, and at the very least, I don't know who you are. I don't know what the situation is. I've not been introduced to you. You're not a friend of
Sorry.
mine, so I can't
Sorry, are
even
you the
really
father or are
evaluate
you,
whether.
what's
I'm
your
saying as
position? You
their
the
father.
father?
So how do I even
Gotcha.
evaluate? How do I even evaluate whether or not I give sovereignty to you to do this? Now you're right. If it's just as
No.
simple as if it's just as simple as just saying, well, don't do it, then I guess you're right.
Well,
In which case, like I said, it just makes no. But then it goes back to what I said before. It makes no sense
it
for as Shark was saying. It makes no sense to do it. It makes no sense
it does
to
because you're
do
describing the
all of what.
difficulty of having a baby mother. So you're literally describing what the
That's my
difficulties
point.
are of having.
That's my
What I'm
point.
saying to you is
That's my
the
point.
only
That's why it
person.
makes no sense to do it.
Oh no, it's not that it don't make no sense. The person who's in charge of the house made the rule. Everybody else has to accommodate. Now, if you don't want to accommodate, meaning you don't want this person laying hands on your child, you'll have to make a decision that for you that best benefits your child based on what you want. It isn't that complicated. So what y'all are trying to do is connect what the woman gonna say and how it's gonna feel. If she doesn't like how this dude wants to run his house, she'll have to leave too. That's part of not having a
I I
relationship with.
I
It's
would
called
not.
not being compatible.
I I would not do it even if she agreed to it, because my sense of how human beings work, the shit's gonna fall apart anyway. And
I
even
hear
if
you.
she intends to do it initially, it's gonna come apart, and probably it's gonna come apart at a time in which it's gonna be much more costly and inconvenient to you. Because at some
Well, quick
point,
question: when you say
Junior's
come
gonna
apart,
buck
what do you
up
mean?
and all of that, well, I'm saying, okay, it's fine. Everybody, let's play nice initially going into this shit, and then a couple of years go by, the kids become teenagers. Junior start bucking up. Sister girl start acting fast, and then all of a sudden, shit gets much more difficult to control. And
Yep.
meanwhile, you done got into her in equity into a home and some other business or economic interest, and now unraveling that shit is much more difficult or much more costly to you. Because see, it's
Now,
one thing to do that or to get into that when maybe the little rugrats are 8, 9, maybe 10 years old, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. But once some years go by and them kids start smelling themselves and start growing hair in places, it gets much more precarious.
I do
Let me say,
agree, but
before you
hold.
respond,
Sorry.
let me get
Hmm.
this in real quick. Shout out to that. I said it. He said he's Roger, but he's not right in this rare instance.
God damn. Jesus.
Simps must form a relationship with a child, which is why I say don't date them. Now I'm gonna say, because I'm not gonna argue with what's being said right now by Black Uru, but I'm gonna say Black Uru just introduced what I was gonna say. Okay, so now you're gonna have to form a relationship with the child's father or child's fathers, because now they have to be comfortable with you disciplining their
Correct.
children.
Well, that's what I was going to, because every risk that Black Guru describes is a risk that every man has to worry about, whether the person he marries has children or not. So then
Gentlemen,
the question comes in, okay, if I set the rule, she says she okay with the rule, but baby daddy say no, I'm not okay with the rule. I respect you when you coming to get him. Now, if he decides to say, well, you
But
know what,
no.
he let him stay, then that means he's respecting my house's rules. There isn't really now. There could be complications later, of course, but that's a risk for any relationship, not just one with kids. So I'm not saying that's not true. What I'm saying is you can't just say it's more likely because she got kids. This single hoes ain't got no kids doing the same thing,
No,
taking half a nigga's
that's a.
livelihood.
But
But
wait,
now
wait.
you can't equate the two, man, because with
What
every
do you mean equate?
person you add, every child you add, every baby daddy you add, you geometrically multiply the complexities coming into that
Correct.
situation. Because you got all different personalities and motivations and all that. Two of the children may love you. One child may want to slit your throat, for example. So everything, it gets much more complicated when there's children and baby daddies. Much more complicated. Because that woman could love you, but she could very easily be emotionally torn with dealing with those children. So it's a very different situation.
But see, okay, we there's something that I want us to pay attention to. Something that we are really not not looking at.
Hold on, before you say it, Chef, before you say it, let me stick this
Go
in
ahead.
right quick. Shout out to Great Black Reset, and this is a great place to stick it in. He said, Chef, please stop this madness. This is not madness, brother. We are getting to what we need to get to right now. Go ahead, Chef. Go ahead,
He
Chef.
said,
So it's a disingenuous perspective because we're looking at the children automatically as something wrong, something that needs to be corrected, something that needs to be straightened out. It's as if we're saying if you're going to date a single black mother, you got to straighten her life out and you got to make sure you straighten out everything that she did wrong. And we're looking at the children as if they're automatically a problem. And I don't think that that's healthy because one, the children have nothing to do with it, but the way we look at them initially, I think that's a problem with this particular argument because you're automatically talking about you're going to have to discipline the children. What if you don't? What if you don't have to discipline the children? What if they're not a disciplinary problem? And we're only talking about the children in relation to discipline. We're not talking about children in relation as a forgive me. We're not talking about the children as if we're supporting the children, as if we want the children to grow up healthy. No, we're talking about these children as if they're automatically a problem. And I'm with Shark. If you're going to see it that way, don't date them because it's as if you want to date a single mother, but you don't want the stuff that goes along with being a single mother. It's like just date a woman that don't have children instead of making all of these rules and this unattainable mountain. Just leave them alone. Don't date them. And let that be your advice instead of making them try and do the impossible. Because that is madness. That really is mad.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
for real.
and what kind of woman can effectively hide her children from you, from your scrutiny, from any sort of analysis of action between and amongst them, up until the point at which you're willing to propose to her. Because when you get to that point, you're basically saying, I want this woman and her children in my life for potentially the rest of my life. That's a big position to get into without even knowing who the fuck these rugrats are and how they behave.
And here's another thing, Black Guru. Here's another thing, Black Guru. You really have to actually understand how these children may or may not push your buttons. We're talking about a generation of men who have gone to war, who are veterans, who have lived life, who have had things happen to them, who have been falsely accused by children. Every man doesn't see children the same way, and you better interact with these children so that you know how these children may push your buttons. Because what if they actually
Well,
trigger
I
you?
mean, even in pushing your buttons, how you gonna feel feeding, taking care of, protecting some other man's children? Some child
Exactly.
look just like that other nigga you looking at every day.
I
How you
got a
gonna deal
question.
with that?
And she
I got
reacts to that child because he looked just like his daddy, and she's still upset. And you don't know how to deal with that because you don't know what it looks like because you ain't never seen it.
I have a question. What kind of Negro is gonna propose to a woman and purposely not have met her children?
Roger.
Roger.
You right.
Roger,
That's a smart one. That's a smart one. Because guess what? Because guess
what
what?
kind of question is that?
Yeah. No,
That was,
I
that
mean,
was a silly question there.
I'm
Roger.
gonna say a smart one because at the end of the day, look,
Mm,
I like you enough to marry you. I'm gonna propose because the marriage is about me and her.
Stop.
Now, if her kids blow it, well, mama can't get married. If I meet the kids and then I see too much stuff going on, and now I got to stop
So
the
what if she
engagement.
told those kids to be good?
No, brother. This is it's gonna be more than about being good. If y'all are actually dealing with each other, y'all gonna talk about y'all
But you
life
hadn't
stuff.
met them yet, Roger.
No. Listen
Well,
to
Roger,
me.
yeah.
Listen to me.
Roger, you
Listen
know
to me.
what,
If you're dealing with a woman, you're gonna talk
Roger,
about your life stuff. Her children
Roger.
are part of her life stuff that y'all gonna discuss from time to time
How do you
as
know,
y'all
Roger?
spending
You
time with
ain't
each
even
other.
met them. You ain't
Roger.
even met them yet, Roger. How
OP,
you know?
wait. Roger, sir. I know we looking for 150, but for the next 15 minutes, you gonna have to just mute. You can't say nothing for the next
Y'all
15
ain't about
minutes. I ain't taking your soup. I'm just taking your spoon. You can't say nothing for the next 15 minutes, bro. For real. Mute your mic and just moderate.
Just shut
Let
up,
the
Roger.
rules
bleep,
go,
bleep,
bro.
bleep, 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 bleep on the way out. On the way out.
Now, I repeat my question because this is a serious question. What kind of man would be willing to marry a woman knowing she has children, no matter what age they are, is gonna go forward into a full relationship, willing to marry this woman without meeting the children? What
Roger,
kind of
we
man?
answered that. Roger.
Yeah. No, it's a rhetorical question because no man would willingly do that. No man in his right mind would do that, and no one would advise a man to do that because of the risks that are involved. That is no, don't
You
do
know,
that.
I
There's too many
I think
risks
I have a
involved.
scenario where it could work though, Chef. I
True,
Take
true,
that nigga soup
true,
too.
true, true.
I'm just saying. I think I have a
Go ahead.
scenario
Oh
where it makes
God.
sense.
Stand up there at home plate while I'm pitching the ball. Go ahead.
All
Stand up
right,
there.
this is going. This is coming from pure logic and based on what you
Here
guys have
come
said.
Drew with the evil Jedi mind trick. Go ahead, Drew. Go
I
ahead.
know, right?
So
This
I agree with what y'all saying. So do we do realize that while you're getting to know this person before you even meet the kids, you do have to vet this person regarding their kids as well, right? So you meet and you date and you getting to know each other. Hey, I got two kids, two different baby fathers. You know, I grew up in Chicago. Blah blah blah. I had a bad life, but I got things together in the last few years. I've been doing this and doing that. I got therapy. I'm this and that and the third. Hey, you want to go out on a date? Yeah, let's go out on Friday. Friday come along. Friday morning come along. Listen, I can't make it. I had a babysitter schedule, but the babysitter canceled. Can we reschedule? Yeah, let's reschedule for Saturday in the daytime or Saturday at night. When are you available? I'm available in the daytime because I got to be with the kids at night. All right, let's go ahead and meet up in the daytime. We dating. You tell me about the kids. You tell me about some of the issues that you have, and you tell me the different perspectives of your kids. Who does your kids stay with? What their age ranges are? They getting good grades? Are they problematic? You're hearing all of this. You're hearing all of this. Not only that, you getting her information, what she's doing, what kind of person she is, where she's going, what her ideology is. You getting all this information. You say, okay, from what I'm hearing right now, all this sounds good. I think I want to marry her. You propose. So now y'all engaged.
So it's
You
been a
meet the
whole
kid.
week. It's been a whole week.
It's gonna be more time than that. But you engage now, but now you meet the kids and you're literally interacting with the kids before you get married. So now you're in the engagement period, you meet the kids, you interact with the kids, you get along with one of the kids, but the other kid is a problem. The older one is 12 years old, it's a girl. She already a problem. She can kiss her teeth, roll her eyes, swing her head, and throw her weave every direction. You already see where the problem's gonna be.
No, forget that. These the best behaved kids in the world. If
Okay.
you if you put a ring on that woman's finger before you meet these children, you
But
are a
nobody said that.
fool. That's
Nobody
what you
said
just
that though.
said.
A
What you talking
sucker,
about?
a sucker.
Engagement is not putting a ring on the woman's finger. The engagement ring is in lieu of the wedding ring.
Oh, I see what happened while I was gone. Y'all let Truth Teller do the Truth Teller thing. He just made up something and kept talking, and
Hey,
y'all ain't stopped this nigga.
hey, no,
That's what
no, no,
happened.
that's not true. Reset. In fact, I need all y'all to apologize to me because I've been saying stuff and Chef, shout out to you, brother. You be like, will Shark said or Black Guru Shark. I agree. Y'all supposed to be like Gold P is right. He ain't Roger, but he's right. And I'm just saying, y'all owe me an apology, man. I've been right
Nah,
about this the whole way.
Truth Teller did what Truth Teller does. He will state something as if it's absolute truth and keep on talking, and
No,
y'all don't stop him. He
reset.
just did
No,
that.
you guys owe me an apology because I went back and forth with
Like
you
y'all
on
niggas.
withholding.
Man,
Y'all
Truth,
need to apologize to me today.
nah, Truth Teller, that's some foolishness. You and Roger gonna be in the corner together. You keep that up right there.
Well, quick
That's
question.
crazy.
Let me ask you then. Does that mean if
Oh,
you ask to marry, you give an engagement ring? Does that mean y'all married?
yes. Y'all, yeah,
Oh, okay.
that means you're engaged to be married. I ain't going for that foolishness today with your trick questions. I be hearing you when you talking,
No,
bro. This is foolishness.
reset. No. No. Why you keep going around it, man? I said all y'all owe me an apology, man. Why y'all
Okay,
keep
go, P.
hey,
I apologize
thank
that
you,
you have
man.
sat here. I
Thank you.
apologize that you
Man,
have sat here this
man.
long and let this foolishness go on without stopping this train. This is
No,
crazy,
no, I
bro.
did not.
No,
No, I did
no.
not. I
This is
came in with the 50 cal banging. And what you mean, man?
Then you
Stop it.
came in here. You came in here agreeing with Roger, who on
Yeah,
timeout right now. You
I
want to
do
go with
agree.
him?
I do
You
agree
want to
with
go with him?
Roger. I
Nah,
do
this
agree
is
with
foolishness,
Roger. You know
bro.
why?
You can't.
I want
No,
Roger to have a relationship. I want him to get married and love and live life. I want him to have a great life. Until he started talking about, yeah, it's not my decision. I made my decision. No, that woman is going to come with the package, and it's either she gonna stay with the kids or she gonna leave with the kids.
I agree with that.
All right,
I
that's
agree with
what
that.
I'm saying.
I agree with that.
But that's what Roger's saying.
No, no, no,
All he's
no,
doing is
no.
all he's doing is
Roger
stating
is
the rule.
not. Roger's not saying that. Roger's saying a crazy rule that somebody that's 16, 17, 18 years old gonna listen to and say, huh, that sounds like a good idea because I ain't smart enough to come up with a better idea. And
Well,
they gonna
no,
go
no.
out there and try this and fail.
Well,
I ain't, friends
what's
don't
the
let friends
failure?
drive drunk. Friends don't
Wait,
let friends drive drunk. Y'all
what's the
drunk.
failure? What's the
The,
failure?
the failure is
Uh huh.
we are responsible for what we are putting out there in the atmosphere, what we are saying. And if
Right.
anybody takes any advice from us that leads them down a wrong path, much less a mass of people, bro, that's
Uh
on
huh.
us. We
Right.
can't
But
sit up here. We
what's
can't
the
sit up here,
failure?
whether
You're
it's Roger
obfuscating.
or anybody else. No, I'm not obfuscating. I'm getting to it. We can't let
Okay.
we can't let one another, no matter how close we are, put out bad information. Roger been putting out bad information. Gold P finna go down the same path.
No, I'm not.
Why? Hold on, Go P. Hold on, Go P. Why is it bad information? I'm still trying to figure out what's the mistake if they take his advice. What's the mistake that they're gonna make?
It's on the screen.
Dating women and be willing to propose marriage before meeting their children. You know how much money you're gonna be done spent by the time you get to that point. You know how much time you will have gone from your life by the time you get to that point.
I understand. So you're gonna put in a lot of time, which is what you do with any woman. So my question is, where's the mistake? When does the mistake happen? When you actually marry her, or no?
No.
The mistake is when you haven't decided or relegated her to either the wife category or the jump off category. That's the mistake.
Okay, so you're saying you have to
And,
relegate.
and,
Mistake is
and
messing
all
up.
of
Period.
and all
I'm not
of
saying
the
that at all.
opportunity costs and all of the opportunity costs in between the jump off spot and the proposal spot, because there's a lot of opportunity costs. There's monetary costs. There's time, effort, energy, goodwill, love, maybe even. That's very expensive to a man.
Right.
And I think we're just being kind of casual about that. Yeah,
I agree. So my whole question is though, I'm not sure. So basically, what you guys are saying is the engagement proposal is the mistake, but you're also now saying all the time you spent before you decided to marry her is also the mistake.
What I'm focusing on is the children. Okay, I'm saying well-behaved children, so I'm not even putting it out there that their children are the worst and the baby daddies are the worst. I ain't even putting that out there. I'm saying if you're gonna take dating a single woman, a single mother seriously, you met her, you like her, she looks good, she's got a good personality, you interested in dating her, you find out she has children. Within a reasonable amount of time, I'm talking about first 30 days, you need to meet them kids.
Oh no, I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying that you're.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying this goes off the rails. It was already off the. It was off the rails in the first 5 minutes of the show, but we really going off the rails when you talk about proposing to a woman before meeting her children.
Now, I want to bring you to a different perspective because you realize that's damaging to the kids, i.e., the first clip in the beginning.
She'll single mother. The damage is done. What are you talking about?
Man,
hear me out.
Look,
hear me out.
Y'all keep talking about the kids, man. This is not about the kids. This is about the woman.
I am confused because one person says it's about the kids and one person says it's not.
Listen, don't listen to Go P. You talking to me? What's going on?
You gotta listen to me. Because
what you want to know?
Oh, listen. The kids come with the women.
Everybody stop. Because we're trying to get our points in. Everybody's trying to get their point in, but everybody's yelling over everyone. So everybody, look, take 1 second, take a deep breath, just calm down, and everybody, we don't have to yell because we can hear you perfectly fine. The problem is you try to talk over True trying to talk over Great Reset, Gold P trying to get everybody to apologize to him, and everybody sounds like a fish market. So please, gentlemen, let's calm down. Let's not let Roger do this to us because this is all Roger's fault. Roger got
Roger
for real.
So, Roger.
I think Roger's smoking a cigarette right now.
No, Roger got his stopwatch on. See, he got his stopwatch on going, I got 4 minutes left. See?
Man, we gonna drug test Roger after the show.
Yeah. All I'm saying is this. Gentlemen, all I'm saying is this. If you're gonna make a point, but don't yell. Because it's really, really inaudible at that point, and we still want to maintain the quality. Everybody's making a good point, and I don't want to have to take somebody's seat because you just won't stop yelling. All right?
Okay. Let's get these points out before Roger comes back. What you want to say, Gold P? Go ahead.
For the record, I'm the only one who can give Roger that real grief. I'm not talking about taking soup. That's chef's job right there. I'm talking about just giving Roger the grief. That's me all day. All you dudes up here who giving Roger the grief, I'm mad at you. You need to apologize.
Damn. Go
Well,
P.
well, go P.
I
Go P.
apologize, Go P.
I
All right.
apologize too. But to answer
I'm
Truth
sorry.
Teller's question, the mistake was made when you was messing with a female with children.
Gotcha. All right. So it's clarified. So that goes back to the point that was being made earlier. The fact that she has kids means she's bad, right? I don't necessarily disagree with that. But then the question is,
It's not a good investment. We ain't gonna say
it's
she's
not.
bad. It's not a good investment, right?
Well,
Because
I hear you.
she could be a perfectly wonderful woman.
Yeah.
She could be a perfectly well suited mother in the situation that is. She could be doing the best she can. It's still
Mm-hmm.
not a good situation for a man to come into because those children, that's somebody else's family you are involving yourself in.
Thank you.
Right.
So the
So let's
mistake.
say it like this. Don't say that it's a bad thing or anything like that because that's prejudicial. Say that it's not likely to turn out well for someone who enters a situation like that. That
Yes,
the odds are stacked against you. It is not likely that you're going to come out on the positive end of this situation. That's just
correct.
been the track record. It's not, and that's not us saying that anyone, is bad, their children are bad, or anything like that. No. If you look at the demographic today, and you just take a small sample, the likelihood that you're going to find a unique snowflake, it's not real likely. And
Right.
you're not gonna be the special one that get up to home plate for your first time at bat in the major leagues and hit a
Exactly.
home run. That's
And
not likely to be you. And if
right.
it is you, just know you won Lucky Motor Scooter.
Yeah. And I want to say this real quick before Roger comes back. Bro, we attack this often from the wrong point of view. The point of view to attack this from is the best case scenario. She is she's got a good job, she's got a degree, she might even be a homeowner. She got one kid. The kid is well behaved, the kid is good in school, and the kid is not a problem to you personally. It's still a bad investment because that's somebody else's family. And you
Mhm.
never know when that other man is going to want to step back into that situation. And bro, that is a very dangerous situation for any man to put himself in.
A great black reset. You remember the story of the dude who was taking care of the kid and the mother for all that time, and the daughter decides to get married and didn't invite him to the wedding, and invited her father instead, and he was paying for the wedding.
Where she
Come
wanted
on,
her
bro.
father to take her down the aisle
Exactly.
and give her away. That's what that was, which
God
was
damn.
the
Bad
father's
investment in the
actual
long
role
run.
to do. That's his role. It's his kid.
But that's what he's saying. That's you jump into somebody else's pool and you gonna tell them you gonna do what you want to do in their pool.
And my thing is
You are
this, young. I understand y'all's spirit about the situation. I'm dealing with the reality that is happening regardless of what we're talking about. So if it's happening regardless of what we're talking about, there needs to be some rules and proper engagement so it can be done the best way if it's done at all. Because I'm going to say, truth be told, if I'm not marrying that woman, I don't need to meet her kids. They don't count. If I'm going to commit to her, I'm going to commit to her. Her child is not going to affect whether I'm going to commit to her
Why
because
would you
it's not
commit to
about
her,
her kids.
Roger? Why would you commit to her, Roger?
Thank
I'm
you.
saying if a person gets to that point that they're willing to marry her, the point of the marriage is to admit to the other adult, not children.
No, Roger. That don't even make sense. Because if
No,
you committed to her, you were going when she told you, yeah, I have 2 children, you
go.
knew from the start she had
Thank you.
2 children.
Children are temporary. They're gonna
No,
go.
they're not,
No,
Roger.
they're not
No,
temporary,
listen to me,
Roger.
go P.
Go ahead.
Children gonna grow up and leave. They're gonna have their own lives. If you as a man is really gonna consider marrying a woman who has children already, there are things you need to look up as a man to see if it's worth your time and trouble. See, the thing is, y'all want to spend more time telling somebody what not to do instead of this. What you're gonna actually have to look at if you're gonna go down this road. The
But
road
Roger,
is telling.
what if the
The
kids?
road is going to tell them better than
Yeah,
you.
But what if the kids fall on hard times and have to move back home?
giving somebody impractical or unusable advice, it can be just as bad. Because if you're telling them something, but it's so logistically difficult for the vast majority of them to be able to do, but yet they think it's actual viable advice, then that's not a good setup either. Because the reality is, most of these men, especially younger men, if they don't know nothing about child rearing and all that kind of stuff, they're not going to fully know how that woman is going to impact their behavior, how those children represent that woman's character. We're older men. We know that. If I'm 20 some years old and I get involved with a baby mama, I don't know all the ins and outs and all of the tricks and all that kind of stuff. So if I just go in blind, never meeting those children, never having any clear understanding of how the children impact her and what the children represent, like in this thumbnail right here, says so much about that woman just by the appearance, particularly of the daughter. Says all I now, if I meet that woman by herself, she dresses up, presents herself a certain kind of way, maybe she has a college education, I don't know. I might, well, she's got a tattoo on her neck. That's an automatic disqualifier right there. But assuming she did not have that, I might view her a certain kind of way. I see the daughter with her nipples showing, I'm viewing her very differently. Automatically.
And
No
don't forget
bra
the
rule.
furry handcuffs.
No bra rule.
And no bra.
Roger, you
I
wrong
totally
today,
get
brother.
I totally get what y'all saying. It's not that I'm against you in any way. All I'm saying is this stuff is happening now. And if guys really knew what all this stuff was entailing, I'm pretty sure a lot of guys who are doing it wouldn't even do it in the first place. Because I done dated single mothers before. And I've also said, at this point, if I meet a woman, I see her children, I'm not even approaching.
So she's the jump off. If you was
all I'm saying is, I done been there, done that. If I see the kids, I'm gone.
Okay,
Roger, here's
you're
another
saying
point.
you don't want. So you're saying that you don't want to be in a relationship or get married to somebody who has children.
No. What I'm doing is putting in rules that should be in place. Truth be told, if you follow the rules, I don't know how you get to the marriage in the first place. Because at the end of the day, the woman's gonna have to be able to abide by the rules. Because when you think no, that's not contradictory. Because when I was using the example of the guy who don't want me to discipline his child, now that child can't live with me because the father don't want me to discipline the child. I gotta respect the fact that it's his child. I can't take precedent over his child. It's his, not mine. I understand that child ain't mine. So now the kid got to go. Now what mama
and the woman's going to go with
now, hold on, go P. What mama is gonna be okay with her child leaving?
Right.
So guess what's gonna happen to her? She gonna either have to let her child go to the dad, or she just gotta leave the house. Because the kid can't be there no matter what.
No, right.
What's the practicality of letting things get to the point where your mother's got to make this impossible
That's
decision?
what I'm talking about.
And what I'm saying is these are all things that's going to probably come up. So therefore, a man should think about these things before he even involves himself. But it's never talked about. That's why men don't think about it.
So we want
to hold fast.
Hold on, go, P.
I got to get T'Challa in here.
Okay.
I got to get T'Challa in here.
Okay,
but the reason I'm presenting stuff is because this is stuff that should be thought about well before you go down that road. And we're not thinking about it as men because we're not telling men all the stuff that goes along with quote unquote dating a single mother. Now don't get it twisted. A lot of guys are just saying don't do it, but you're not presenting the reasons why they shouldn't do it.
But you don't need to have a reason. Just tell them don't do it.
No, people need reasoning for whatever they're gonna do in life.
Point them to the court system.
No, brother, it's a lot of men out here that pussy gonna be enough to go forward because they don't have no other reason not to. And that's just reality. It ain't about what we want. It's about what the reality is.
Hey,
some
Roger.
of these guys gonna get some pussy, and that pussy gonna be good to them.
Hey, Roger.
And they gonna keep moving forward.
Shark told me to get up off you, man. T'Challa, go ahead, brother.
T'Challa, I apologize if these Negroes is being very rude to you today. I apologize about that, brother. You just muted yourself, T'Challa.
Oh, sorry about that. That was a technical thing. Hey, so shout out to you, Roger, as the host, all the gentlemen listening. And I just been kind of listening around. I'm doing some painting and stuff, so I've been listening for you guys. I wanted to come up and actually address something you guys the other day, but I'll do that back chat, once we go to Bible study, okay? But as it relates to the topic, I didn't even realize that the young lady on the left is the daughter. Okay, right. So you got the mother. I was just thinking both of them had something to do. But anyway, that's why I was listening to you guys, and now it makes much more sense. I did watch the video, the interview, and that's. And look, here's the deal. And this is 2025 and the 2026, last day of the year. We're getting ready to go to 2026. There really is no right way to date a single mother. There is literally like one exception that I can think of, just one exception that I can think of. And that is only if both the woman and the child or children, and I don't know why you take on more than a woman with more than one, but that woman and that child are truly appreciative of you as a stepfather and as a new husband coming into that situation. They got to be appreciative, and they have to demonstrate that on a regular basis, and they need to make it very clear that they're appreciative through their actions, words, behavior, respect to you, and all of that stuff. The problem, 2025 going into 2026, is that it is so rare that women with children are doing that at this point it makes no sense for anybody to these women, and that's unfortunate, because you hear a lot about these kids need fathers. It would be helpful. It would benefit the community. This, that, and the third. What's missing, from what I see, is true respect, appreciation, and admiration for any man who steps up and wants to be a husband to a woman who already has a child, and a stepfather or father to his kids for which he has no biological attachment. That's what's missing. And the collective of women cannot do this. They have proven for decades now that they can't do it. It used to be that way. I remember, I think I told you guys a story about how Steve Harvey's show, one kid wrote in, he's like 10, 11, 12 years old, talking about how he appreciated, his stepfather, and how he's taking care of his mother, and how he's come into their life and made him so much better and everything else. That don't happen anymore. That's not what's happening today. What's happening is, I got these kids, and somebody better take care of these kids. That's what men are getting today. And it makes no sense, especially a gentleman, a young man. And I'll tell all the young men in my family, and any young man who listens, you are young, never married, you have no children. These women are off limits to you. And then the one thing I will agree with what you said, Roger, I think somebody was giving you a little bit of pushback on it. You have to explain to them the reasons. You have to explain why, because some guy's going to go and go, well, I heard what you said, don't deal with him, but you didn't tell me why. Because you got the baby daddy. You don't know what he is and how he's going to respond, and how he's going to react to the situation. You got the family that he's attached to. You don't know if they're any good. All right, generally they're not, because somehow he ended up as a baby daddy, and he's probably got multiple kids. And then you got the woman, who probably wants to still have an attachment somehow to that dude. So it's a whole lot going on, and you got the disrespect from the children. And then the other part of it too is, all you have to do is perform duties as a stepdad. And do you know that you can be sued for child support? And you think women don't know that? You don't even have to live with the woman. You don't have to cohabitate, none of that stuff. All you got to do is show up, take that kid to the park, and buy him some ice cream and give him some advice. And now you just perform duties of the stepdad. She could take you to court. You do that for a few weeks, Next thing you know, you paying child support out of your pocket for a kid that ain't even yours. Like, this is the stuff that men need to know, especially young men who have no idea about what's going on out here in the real world. But yeah, as I understand it, and I'm going to land on this, I just gave you guys the exception, and I'm telling you, the women out here today are not behaving, and it don't matter the race. I know we talk about black women here because we're black, but they collectively across the board are not showing the appreciation and the respect and the admiration that a husband coming into that situation and a stepfather should get. And I'll land right there. Thanks for
Hey,
letting me in.
T'Challa, there's one more exception, brother. There's one more. If you are of age, meaning you are a man and a woman, and you are 50, 60, and your kids are gone, that might be an exception.
Okay, well, you're not taking care of kids at that point.
Right.
Now
Yeah. That's the point. That's the point.
Yeah. And now you're just dealing with her and then her extended family.
That's the point.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, but even in that one, they gotta respect the stepfather. You know, they should respect, because even if you don't raise them, you know, the children should have a certain amount of respect for anybody their mother is dealing with, and the children should have a certain amount of respect for anyone their father is dealing with. Because sometimes people die. You got widows, widowers, and things don't happen. But at the end of the day, you know, the thing is, there's a lot of stuff to consider if you're going to deal with a single mother that ain't really being talked about. Because y'all just presented a reason why you got to become friends with the father of the children. Why? So y'all can have a mutual respect for each other. So when something go down in your home, because let's say the guy ain't tripping about you disciplining the children, y'all got to be cool enough for that to even take place. So now you got to be this guy's friend.
Yeah, Roger, but you tried to separate the two, meaning the kids from the mother, when she's in your home, and you had to make a decision.
No. I wasn't separating the two.
You tried to separate.
No. What the thing that was going on that you didn't catch?
Go ahead.
Was I was talking about a decision amongst men. You kept trying to interject the woman in it. The decision gonna have to be amongst the men, and the woman's gonna have to be cool with decisions that the men make.
But Roger, you act like you aren't gonna have it. Yeah, you and the man came to an understanding. The man said, "Yeah, you can't whoop my children," and then you, in the relationship with the mama, gotta have a conversation.
You are supposed to already be the leader if you're going to propose to her.
No,
she has to have an understanding that the leader ain't going to pick what she want all the time. And at the end of the day, that's the risk she take by even getting involved with you.
Yeah,
if he becomes a problem, kids got to go.
Okay, but you're saying you trying to say that she's gonna, because she's in a relationship with you, and the baby daddy says, "Oh, you can't discipline my kids." She's gonna separate herself.
No.
Her kid.
I'm not saying she has to separate herself from her kid. What I'm saying is she has to accept the decisions of her leader. And if she's not going to do that, there was no reason for you to marry her in the first place.
That's not where you was at in the first. That's not where you was at, Roger.
What is the character of that woman if she goes along with that plan in itself?
Yeah, see, and my thing is that's gonna come out way before you propose anyway. The character of her means she's a person you ain't supposed to be dealing with.
So why would marriage even be in the conversation, Roger?
Go P. That's what I'm saying. If we got to the point of marriage, I've already established leadership. There's nothing. That's why I'm not discussing anything with her. Me and the father gonna discuss what we discussed. We've come to our decision about what's gonna happen. Remember, I said before I get off the phone, I said I will have your child ready tomorrow morning. I'm not taking something to the mother to discuss.
You already in the relationship, man.
If I'm in the relationship, I'm already in charge. Why can't you accept that? I'm already in charge.
But why you can't accept the fact that you didn't say, you didn't decide right off the top that this shouldn't even be a conversation, because you are talking with the daddy.
No. What I was saying to you, as far as it not being a conversation, what I'm saying is it's not going to be a real conversation where we're going back and forth. It's his kid. What am I going to tell that man about his kid?
Right, Roger.
So if he say what he say, Don't worry about it. Your kid will be ready to be picked up tomorrow morning. We're not really going to
and
talk
her
about
too, and her too, because she's going to go with the kids.
If you want to go, that's her business, bro.
No, Roger, it's not if she wants to go, because if she lets the kid go, that's still going to be a battle between you and her.
No, it's not
going to
going to
be a conversation between
It's
you
not
and
going
her.
to be no battle. I'm her leader, man. It's not going to be no
You're
battle.
not her leader. You are not her leader.
She's not there if I'm not her leader.
You're not her leader, sir.
Go P.
Go
P. You let Roger trick you. By the time you get to this conversation with this woman, according to Roger's rules, you already done married her.
No.
Yeah, he said propose to him before you even meet the children.
Well, I said
that's what he
don't
said.
do it. So he ain't tricked me into nothing.
No. I mean, no. The thing is, Great Reset, you have a point, and I'm not trying to say it as a trick. I'm saying I'm not marrying a woman unless I'm her leader. So the leadership is already established way before this conversation would even come up. So we already know what time it is. If she got a problem with me being her leader, she'll never be my wife. Being a leader does not mean I make decisions she like all the time. I don't owe her that. She's my wife. She's not my mom.
You ain't her leader.
Do you think? Do you
came in?
Let me ask the other.
Go
Let me ask the other men on the panel. Put Roger aside here for a moment. Other gentlemen on the panel, do you think it's safe to compel a woman to abandon her children?
No, sir.
Do you think that's a safe move for you?
No, sir. No, sir. Off top. No, sir.
Does anyone agree that they think it's okay to put a woman in a position where she has to abandon her children? Does anyone agree that's a marriage that they should continue, whereby the continuation of that marriage has required her to abandon her children? Does anyone think that's okay to do, or safe to do, or practical to do?
No, sir.
See, sometimes you have to ask the right question. Sometimes you have to ask the right question. Sometimes the answers is in the question.
I'm gonna go opposite, bro. I'm gonna say yes, it is. It shows her commitment.
No, it
proves her commitment.
You know when that works. You know when that works.
Back in the day,
when
it
y'all
did.
are lions,
it's your child.
When y'all are lions and you kill the cubs, then it works. That's how it works.
Actually, it worked in the past.
When you kill a cub, then the lioness immediately goes in the heat, and then you just go ahead and put some more lions in. That's how it works.
In the black community, it actually worked. Hence, you grew up with your grandmother.
Hold on, Truth Teller. The only way this works, if it's your child, and you say that this child is uncontrollable and this child has to go. It's your child. That's the only way that works, whether she agrees or not. But if it's another man's child and you're telling her in order to continue the relationship with you, even if she agrees, that woman's going to hate you for the rest of your life and you're going to feel it.
I would be concerned with that woman freaking out some night and killing me in my sleep.
Right.
That's how afraid I would be doing.
You ain't lying about that, Uru.
That's why I said, Roger, you wouldn't be her leader. You would not be her leader.
And the problem with that statement is what?
The problem, there's no problem with that statement. The problem is you will not be her leader because you put her in a position to make that decision.
That's the only way she can live in the house. It's the only way.
Can I say something about this? Because I remember Kevin Samuels talking about this when he was interviewing women on the his little panel show. And he was always asking like, well, if you want a new guy, why don't you just leave the kids to get the kids to their father? And then you and that new guy go and get married.
Where do you think Kevin got it from? Right over here.
Yeah, that's why I remember hearing that. Yeah, I probably did get it from you, but that's why I remember. That's why I do remember him saying that and asking women that.
But my point is, it don't make no difference who involved. That's what the situation is. You want to be married and be over here. This what it takes. Why am I supposed to care what she thinks? This what it takes to get over here. If you're unwilling to do it, you can't be here.
I got it, y'all. I got it.
Just
I know
be
what it
prepared to
is.
sleep with one eye open, Negro.
No,
just be prepared to sleep with one eye open.
I got it. It's we messed up because we read logic into the title of the show. The title of the show should actually be The Right Way for Roger to Date a Single Woman.
We've been saying that from the beginning.
This only applies to Roger because ain't nobody else doing this. Roger's the only one that's gonna do that. Roger, the only one that's gonna do that because it is idealistic. It is idealistic in a perfect world, and that don't exist except for Roger. So anybody listening to this, I want you to automatically reread the title. The Right Way for Roger to Date a Single Mother. And you will be just fine if you let this all be for Roger.
See, I'm gonna disagree with you because my thing is, when it comes down to it, this is the safe way. If you're not willing to take on these, this is the safe way for anybody. Because if you're not willing to take all this on, she ain't the right woman. Because she got kids already.
She's not the right woman in the first place because she's somebody else's woman.
So the show is awesome because y'all are actually agreeing. You don't realize it, right? Y'all said don't mess with her at all.
Lord.
She got kids and there's a lot of risks. Roger's saying if you're gonna mess with her, this is what you got to do in order to make sure it's successful, which is extravagant and probably unable to be attained. So everybody's saying the same thing. It's just that you're missing the way Roger's saying it. He's saying the difficulties in the rules either will.
True teller.
Yeah,
but that's where it goes back to where the brother, I forget his name today, Demolition Man, says, look, we're all wise and experienced men, so we're going to be able to make that rationalization that you provide, True Teller. But what about younger men that might listen to it and say, well, okay, I'm writing this down, and when I get with a baby mama, this is what I'm going to try to do. And then he discovers this shit just for a myriad of reasons just don't actually work. That's the question.
Well, you gotta ask. Well, you have to understand what the rules are actually doing. The rules are literally filtering out. It's making it so difficult for the woman to accomplish her goal. 99% of the time, she's not. And her goal would be getting with you and you taking care of her and her kids. So if you follow the rules that he's saying, odds are she ain't gonna be with you. Right? So I think that's just the point he's making in the show, that if you follow these rules, you're gonna have the outcome that everybody's suggesting you do from the beginning. He's trying to paint the picture to people who haven't experienced any of this stuff yet, to say, hell, okay, well, you don't know any of this. If I tell you she gonna get you, she gonna lie to you, she gonna manipulate the kids against you, you gonna be out. They're not gonna listen to any of that. They don't have any experience there. But if you say, hey, if you follow these rules and you do them right, you're gonna be successful. Now, what they think success is might be, hey, I might get married, but more than likely that ain't gonna happen with these rules.
Yeah, that's well good, but I would say even if you get to the finish line, you probably gonna end up more fucked, ironically, than you would if they would have filtered out. So I would include that in it as well. That even if in the scenario you win, you're gonna lose because whatever you think that woman's gonna do initially, that baby daddy is gonna consign to, those children are gonna agree with, is gonna fall through much more likely to fall through, because most people are not going to want you to have sovereign over them, over their children. The children are not going to want you to have sovereignty over them. So even if you get to Roger's mythical field finish line, you're likely going to lose on the back end as well. Now, if we're going to communicate that in the messaging, then I'm fine with it. If you tell the truth and say 99.9% in the scenario, you're going to fail regardless of where you end up in the timeline of this, then I would agree with you.
Hey man, who fell asleep on the stream? Who sleep, man?
I don't know. We're gonna figure that out. But
It's not me.
go you don't need to be loud about stuff like that. Okay, you gotta be, chill, brother, chill.
Yeah, okay.
So everybody mute up real fast. Everybody mute up real fast. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, because I got Tunnel Runner backstage, I'm gonna bring Tunnel Runner up. So must be you. Boom. Okay, Tunnel Runner, you got the flow.
Yeah, I was just going to say what Truth Stella was saying. You eliminate most of these women. I mean, you probably eliminate 97% of the women if you put it to that test. It's only going to be a few women that's going to get to that point. And if she gets to that point, she's going to be a rare one. That is possibly you could get married. Y'all get married because a lot of those women are not going to, like, all those tests are going to show who she really is.
Okay, and let me say it real quick. Everybody in the private chat, just put the number 1 real quick in the private chat so I can know exactly what's going on. Put a number 1. Oh, Black Roo, I know you here. Turn around, I know you here. You just said something. True Teller, you just said something. I know you here. Everybody put a number 1 in the back chat. Let's see who ain't putting the number 1 up. And I'm gonna read this by Elder Blood. He said, Roger, black men have been taught to compromise for women and betray himself and God at the same time, throwing their pearls before swines. And I do agree with that. And that's why my thing is, if you actually give people rules that they should do if they're going to approach this extremely difficult situation, when it comes down to it, you stop people from even making that decision. Okay, that's what's going to happen. You're going to stop people from making that decision, because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, y'all, we can't stop them from doing what they're going to do. But what we can do is offer them some advice on how to properly get it done. We can do that, So it is what it is on that note. Yeah, I don't know where this is coming from. Boom, there we go.
We
got it. I got it fixed. That's my man who been working overnight. So understandable. Go ahead. Was you about to say something back there?
Yeah.
Well, all right, I'm gonna read the next super chat.
Yeah, I mean, look. I think maybe the fine point here is, for me, whether or not you think your rules will actually lead to a favorable conclusion. I appreciate the argument that, if, as you and Tunnel Runner just recently said, these rules will filter out a lot of trouble, but I see trouble regardless. I think if you go through every bit of what you described, in the end, a very small, less than 1% percentage of baby mamas is going to work for you. I think in the end, it's going to fall through. I think the complexities of life and people and ego, you got the ego of the woman, you got the ego of the children, you got the ego of the baby daddies. Even if you could get to the finish line in your scenario, eventually you're going to lose in the end. You may win the battle getting through to marriage, but I think ultimately you lose the war. And you created a lot of, or you added essentially reasons for people who already are inclined to resent you. You've just added more reasons for them to resent you.
Well, you know what? I think that's very credible. But I do believe, because I understand how a lot of young black men are going to be afraid of women. I'm giving them something to even take to the women so they can even understand. But let me say real quick, shout out to No Placeholder. He says, late to the cool table. Happy New Year to my brothers in the wilderness. Shout out to you, brother, and Happy New Year to you as well. Appreciate you big time. I want men, because see, there are women out here who are quote unquote single mothers, and they not trying to hear it about why you men ain't dating them. And there are men folding because they don't know a reason to tell a woman why not to date a single mother. You start presenting all this stuff we're going to have to jump through. It make it real easy to say, well, you know what? It just don't make sense for me to do this because how are we going, as you said, logistically going to do even make this happen? Because again, y'all, I'm not meeting your kids. If I'm not marrying you, there's just no reason for me to meet your children. I don't understand why I got to meet some kids and I only want to marry this woman. Don't make sense to me. And if I'm going to marry her, I have to be committed to her regardless of what her situation is. But I am going to come to know things about what's going on in her life with her children, because if we're spending time together and we're being serious like that, we're going to talk about our lives. So you got to tell me about how Junior got suspended in school or how Junior made the honor roll, whatever it is, whether it's good or bad. You're going to be mentioning the stuff that's going on with your kids. And when we get engaged, as I'm not going to propose to a woman and marry her next week. This is going to be a year down the line. Some people make it 2 years or even 3. You know, a year sounds about right to me, but at the end of the day, you're going to have time to go to the kids, see who these kids are, see the reflection of how these kids show based on what her mama said. You may find out very quickly that mom's just a plain liar and you going to cut out. Okay, cool. So what did you do before you found this out? You spent time with some woman you like, you had sex with some woman you like. Where'd you really lose? Because once you meet them kids, you say, well, you know what? I can't do this. You done blew it. Now she got to live with that. You don't have to live with it. Now she may say, well, you kids blew it for me. Hey, that's going to be between her and her kids. That's not your situation to worry about. She showed up with kids that she didn't have to show up with. Nobody has to come to a new relationship with children. That is something women are choosing to do. We are not in the 1500s. Everybody who's showing up to a relationship, unless she's a widow, is showing up with kids because that's what they wanted to do. And if we understand that as men, you know, why we worried about how they responding to stuff? And y'all have to admit, black men do care about how women are responding to the things that we're doing. So I'm trying to give people some tools out here. If you don't want to marry her, you really don't need to meet them children. It ain't good for them. It ain't gonna necessarily do any good for you. If you do get engaged to it, you got time to see who these kids are if you really care that much. Now, me personally, if I was gonna do something, I don't really care who these kids are because kids don't run my life. So their opinion ain't gonna even mean anything to me. Hey man, when you grown, you can have your decision, do it the way you want to do it. But as long as you're a child, who cares what you think? Now, for some people, that's harsh to hear a man say that about their children, but that's going to be the truth. I don't care what your child thinks. It's a child. This what you wear in school because this what we paying for. It's that simple to me. Well, I want this. Who cares what you want? You can get that when you can pay for it. Go get a job. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff going on with me. That's the type of stuff I heard. I understood as a child there were decisions I'm going to get to make when I get myself in a position where I can make them. Meaning I had to be grown, gone, and be able to legally come up with some money to pay for what I wanted to do. If we wanted an opinion, usually an adult gave us the opinion that we had. So I don't even understand why the children are that important. And I'm being realistic. Why are they important?
Yeah, you're describing kind of a sociological wasteland. I don't know if that's what you know you're doing, but you're basically describing a scenario, a no-win scenario for any of the people who engage in that environment. And that's why I say you need to do the passport thing and all that, because there is no, it's the what Kobayashi Maru or whatever, sort of unsolvable problem where one decision will lead to calamity, the other decision will lead to calamity. It's just a no-win scenario now, especially since the vast majority of the people who've been born and raised are coming out of the very scenario where you got so few of the children or so few men making most of the children. It's like multiplying. The effects of this is multiplying across generations. I mean, how many baby generations of baby mama are we looking at right there? Probably about 4 on the thumbnail. Because even the mothers probably come from a baby mama who probably came from a baby mama in the 70s or whatever. So it's just bad. It's just shit all the way around.
Well, my thing is, that's what it is. I'm gonna say shout out to Luckman. Luckman said, "Is this subject only the black community?" Luckman, you black. If you are a respectable, productive, functional brother that believe in black men's leadership, whoever you are dealing with, once you marry them, they become part of the black community because you're the leader. So does it make a difference? And are you going to take these rules and say, well, I don't have to consider this because she white? I don't have to consider this because she Asian? No, you got to consider the same stuff anyway. So what difference do it make?
I think it's even worse if she got a Asian baby daddy or ex-husband or white. You think you dealing with some shit with some black folks? My God.
Well, I was saying, if he's dealing with an Asian woman, like maybe he's dealing with an Asian woman who got kids already, you still not gonna look at what's going on? I mean, she a mama at the end of the day, regardless of where she come from. You can't just avoid this stuff. But I do believe one of the reasons you have so many men still dating single mothers is because at the end of the day, they don't have a reason not to. It's that simple that when it comes down to it, they just don't have no reason not to. They met some chick, she looked good. Just like when I was a young man. I met a chick, she looked good, I want to hit. It's that simple.
I've always thought if I were to marry a single mother, theoretically, obviously that's not possible for me personally, but I think I would have to legally adopt those children. I think I would have to get the father or fathers. Well, if it's fathers, I just can't see myself marrying a woman who has several baby daddies or whatever. But I think I would have to get that blood father to surrender those children to me, which sounds crazy, but I think that would be the only circumstances in which I would really ever consider marrying a woman who has children.
Well, to me, it don't sound crazy because I do believe one of the ways you solve the single mother issue, you got to have black men start respecting each other more, which is why I kept saying, if a man say don't hit his child, it is not for me to go against what that man said. It's not my job to tell him I'm gonna hit his child anyway. No, I got to surrender his child to him. That's his kid. He don't want me to hit his kid. Hey, bro, I respect it. So just come get your kid.
But in my scenario, in my scenario, we're having that talk. I'm bringing some papers to be notarized for him to surrender legal claim to those children. That's what's happening in my scenario. In your scenario, you trying to decide whether or not you can spank the kids. In my scenario, I'm trying to see whether or not the kids are mine.
Well, but in either scenario, the man is respecting the other man's position. Because if he gonna turn his kids over to you, he got to respect your position to even do that. So my thing is, a lot of problems get solved once the men start respecting each other, and we stop making all the core issues revolve around that woman.
And here's the other thing that would have to happen in my scenario: that man is doing that in the presence of those children, and he is humbly and gleefully surrendering his paternity to those children. So it ain't no my daddy shit after that deal is done. Your daddy gave you up, you heard him say it out of his own mouth.
Don't you dare tell me you ain't my daddy after you heard what your daddy said.
Uru said gleefully, Uru, you might be opening up a can of worms. There's a lot of niggas in these streets that might co-sign that process that you just described. Go ahead to your daddy, player.
Right, you better go and get away from me. You got a daddy now.
You got a daddy now.
It's that move. You better go talk to him about that stuff. Leave me alone. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It sounds legitimate to me. It sounds very legitimate to me. You know, and I think these are things that men need to actually think about if you're gonna really actually get involved in this stuff. But just saying on a regular basis, just don't do it. I understand. I'm not saying that's bad advice. What I'm saying is it's gonna be men that's not gonna hear that advice because they don't come from a perspective where that advice makes sense to them. You got to make it make sense to them at some point, you know. And shout out to Perfect Timing Podcast. Appreciate you big time, my brother. He says salute and happy New Year to the Roger Report family. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Real talk. Okay, real talk. We was hitting on some heavy stuff in here, y'all, but we are past the 3-hour mark. So get y'all self together. We about to go into Bible study for the last time of the year. And I'm coming in swinging. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna say this right now, so they don't even think the audience ain't finna think y'all just finna jump me backstage. I'm coming through swinging, okay? So y'all get ready.
Man, we don't care what Roger say. We finna cook this Negro back here. Promise you that.
It ain't happening, y'all. It ain't happening. I'm finna be on their heads. Real talk, y'all. I'm coming through with the jackhammer today. But does anybody want to give any last word before we finish the final show of the year?
Yeah, I do. Roger, you know, you left me back there for 4 hours, brother.
Brother, what you talking about?
I was in the back for 4 hours. You see how you treat me? Now, I was intending not to jump you. I was going to fight these dudes off with you. But I changed my mind. We jumping you all day as soon as we get to Bible study, bro.
Okay, it's all good.
We
Your
gonna
head
start
first.
you up, man.
Okay, it's all good.
That's what we
Salute to you,
doing.
brother. Salute to you. Your head first. That's all I'm saying.
How you
His head
do?
coming off first.
You see how? Yeah, go ahead.
I got a quick statement. I want to say Happy New Year's to everybody listening. This is it's been a wonderful year with you guys, and I'm asking the Lord to bless us with many, many more. Um, and anybody listening to this between the ages of 16 and 25, don't even try it. Don't even try it. Don't attempt it. Don't go in there with all these rules. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. That's it. Happy New Year.
All right, shout out to Elder Blood. I did read this. Did I read this, y'all? Wait, did I read this?
I don't think you read it.
Okay, shout out to Elder Blood. He said being so nice and willing to compromise for women and their kids that are not his is why black men suffer and are so well disrespected by women who fake love them. And I'm going to say that's some real stuff right there. That's some real stuff. You know, at the end of the day, there's a plenty of men who've been in a fake relationship with a woman. I don't know if y'all caught it, but I mentioned it earlier. When the relationship is about the children, once the children are old enough to be grown and gone, a lot of times she getting a divorce. She will marry you to make sure her kids are grown and gone and on their own. And then that's when she don't see really needing you anymore. And she divorced and getting right back in them streets. So I am gonna say the relationship has to be about you and the woman. So I'm not considering kids. That's real talk.
You know,
the kids will have the opinion. Kids are gonna have the opinion I assign them. And that's real talk. That's the way I grew up. And it worked out for me. I believe it'll work out for them. If I need them to truly have an opinion, I'll assign it to them.
You know, I just thought of something. Roger, you know, according to this relationship today, this conversation today, I think we all can agree that you really aren't a ruthless, nice guy, according to this conversation.
Nah, you crazy now. That's all I can say.
I think you ain't ruthless, bro.
If you're willing to be ruthless, you don't need to meet them kids because you're going to rule them anyway.
Yeah, but you was talking about, we're going to propose. I got to be with you before I propose. And then when I propose, I ain't met the kids. And then when we married, then I meet the kids.
Bro, if you truly ruthless, what you need to meet them for? All they going to do is fall in love.
Okay.
They ain't got no opinion I care about.
I thought we was going to Bible study, man. I thought
I'm just, well, you want to throw this out there. I'm just saying, bro, they
you,
children, bro.
you say you a ruthless nice guy, but today you a sucker today, brother.
Nah, bro.
Nah, bro.
At the end of the day, they have no opinion that's gonna have any value to what I'm doing.
Today you proved to be a sucker today. Today's your day.
Don't hold him up, Gold P. Let him get on back here and Bible study so we can get at it.
All right. I'm sorry. I apologize to the panel because you guys. I apologize. I'm good enough.
I'm just gonna end up going to Gold P head first. That's all. All right, y'all. But it's been a great show. It's been a great year. I hope all y'all have a fantastic new year. I hope whatever technically still this year had for you, I hope next year is better. Real talk. Y'all have a great new year. Long live the Habitual Line Steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.